get any takers from the beta shift yet, so I'm going to say that they're a no.
Is someone going through my sheet?
When was Savoy supposed to return?
It's either this week or next week.
I have no idea, but if I don't hear from him at all this week, I'm probably going to shoot him a message either Saturday or Sunday. And if I don't get a response before game, I think we should just look for another player.
Yeah, I was going to suggest something similar to that, where it's like if he's not back by next week, or we don't get any inclination from him.
Yeah, because for all we know, like the 2 weeks of I'm leaving might have been him dropping but not wanting to say it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He could be out of the country for all I know too. But I mean, this is week 6 and he's been here for 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I actually kind of forget we have a doctor sometimes.
Yeah, right. and the problem with the other ship is their doctor doesn't have a mic, so it's hard for him to really do anything.
So does he just type everything in?
Yeah.
That's annoying.
He tries to type everything in, but when it gets to everybody, it's normally after the action happens.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And he's
recommend
not really.
some headphones.
Yeah, I don't he's a kid, so I don't know if he can really afford new ones.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem.
You know, I think it's one of those situations. Like, I don't think he can afford it, and it sounds like his parents won't get them anyway. It's something like that, but
yeah, because as a kid, I would have had a hard time. Like, even with $25 headphones as a kid, that would have been a bit of a commitment.
right.
Right.
I like being an adult.
Yeah.
It does have its perks.
Also downsides. But
Like, oh yeah, no, but it's like one of those things where I'll be at the store and I'll see on sale $2 bag of chocolate, and I'll be like, shame I can't buy that. Wait a minute, I'm an adult. There's no one to stop me.
And in there proves he's still a child.
We don't grow up, we just grow up.
right.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we all stopped being Toys R Us kids, so there's that.
Oh,
Oh.
that hurt.
Except in Canada.
I mean, don't worry, I'm guilty of that too. I was definitely a Toys R Us kid, and I didn't even go in there when they were closing to look for deals. So
You see, I exist in an extremely bizarre limbo between millennial and Gen Z, where I was born in 1997.
98.
So I'm
So
too
same
young.
here.
Yeah, so I'm too young to remember any of the stuff that defined the millennial generation, but I'm just a bit too old to be in on the teen speak of today.
yeah, that's kind of how I am. I was born in '85, so I guess I'm technically a millennial, but I have nothing in common with it.
Wait, so
And I think most of my friends are in their 40s and stuff, so I more identify with, I don't know, whatever the one before me was.
I think it's Gen X.
Might be.
Yeah, not sure.
I can't remember. It doesn't really matter.
Man, I was getting worried then that I might be the oldest one here.
No, you're probably not.
I thought I was gonna be worried I was gonna be the youngest one here. That's
Oh,
how
wow.
the song and dance goes.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
I realized.
Humorously enough, for a while, I believe your captain was the youngest one here. Because I'm 21.
I'm 20. I was literally concerned I was gonna be the youngest one here. I was going shit, not this song and dance again.
Well, you are the youngest one here by the sounds of it.
Oh,
Nope,
I thought
I
I
am.
was the youngest.
I was
Wait,
born in 90.
how old
I
are
was
you?
born in I was born in 97.
Same as Captain here.
I was born in '96.
98.
98. Youngest here.
Someone said that they're born in 98.
I was born in 98.
Oh, okay.
I was graduating grade school in '99.
Does this mean that our oldest character is played by our youngest player?
Yes, it does.
Perfect sense. Absolute
Wow, that
perfect
is
sense.
Yep.
I didn't.
No, I
realize
put that
my
together a
camera-
bit ago, and I was like, huh.
Switch in the Matrix.
Well, that's interesting.
That's a thing. Okay. Yeah, this definitely feels like a much more well balanced age group.
Have been in some weird ones.
Yeah. So,
All right.
are we ready?
Yeah, I think so. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns before we start? Does anybody need a recap?
We'll figure it out. I'll figure
Fucking
it out.
crystal.
Lieutenant Commander.
Oh,
Crystal's
that
happened.
reminds me.
Crystals
Nice put on my
happened.
ambiance.
Crystals happened.
Oh, ambiance.
shit.
That would be great.
I found a one for like the crystal caves from Dark Souls that sounds like it might work for this.
If we're gonna,
We're on the ship right now.
If we're gonna,
But, like,
Dark
we're on the
Souls, we're gonna
surface.
find a mimic.
Oh dear.
We're
Okay,
gonna find
so
a mimic.
I guess we're ready. So for once, I'm not going to start us.
All right. Well, actually, I'm going to start us because the commander is not yet. All right. So we're going to start the scene. The fate of the away team is revealed as the scene opens up to the captain being thrown onto the ground in a large echoing cavern with the other members of the away team being held by the crystal beings. The away team has been stripped of all tools, weapons, communicators, anything they were carrying. As the away team gets a feel for the surroundings, a loud, booming voice fills the room. Are these the intruders that have violated our sacred ground? One of the guards answers, yes, Ancient One. Let me look at them. And a face made of colorful crystal shapes comes out of the wall, filling the entire wall surface. Ah, yes, Captain Grennan, Lieutenant Evans, you have violated our sacred birthing grounds, injured our young, and your light in the stars have killed many of our people. What say you to this?
Oz the Great and Powerful, I presume.
God damn it. I can
So
just
you
imagine-
have nothing to say for your crimes.
May I have some tea?
Let me
and
start
some
over.
Crumpets, please.
It appears that you know much about us. I presume that you can read our minds.
I know your names by the energies found in your little light in the stars.
At our computer banks. Got it. We came here with no ill intent. We had no idea of the nature of your civilization. If you were to simply ask, we would leave and not come back if you didn't wish to be disturbed. We represent a peaceful organization, the United Federation of Planets.
Judging from your energies, the peaceful coexistence you speak of is a lie. We have many dead and injured by your hands.
We simply did not know. Our actions were rash. And under other circumstances, it is quite possible that you may have been hostile. We now know that to not be the case, but we had no way of knowing.
So now comes the question of what do we do with you? Since we have no need for imprisonment, but judging by the energies found in your little light in the stars, I find that a cage of crystal will be more to your liking. Take them away, and the face retreats back into the wall as the guards grab the away team and leads you away. And with that, we will go to the commander's log.
Acting Captain's Log. Commander Varro in command. Stardate 53189.9. With the captain trapped on the surface of the rogue crystalline planet, the Kismet was forced to flee by a numerically superior force of crystalline starship facsimiles. I determined as much as I could of their capabilities before retreating the Kismet from hostile space and sending a distress call to Starfleet. Admiral Heber dispatched the USS Imjin for a rescue operation, against my suggestion. They failed. And more disturbingly, Captain Sterix reports that the planetoid has moved from its former position, leaving only the hostile force whose vanguard we encountered, perhaps as some form of deterrent. After a rendezvous with the USS Foxtrot, we have taken on additional crewmen, most notably a replacement operations officer and a Ferengi. Command has tasked the Kismet with locating the planet and determining the fate of the missing away team. To this end, the Klingons have been called in for tactical assistance, running interference against crystalline ships. We arrive in 1 hour. End log.
Nicely done, Commander.
Thank you.
I didn't feel like killing myself this time.
Varro's much more to the point.
This time, oh my.
Captain's log supplemental. Fuck.
All right, so the commander established that you guys are 1 hour from the coordinates, or wherever the hell I decide they will be. So what do you guys want to do in that time?
I don't even know where my character is at this point.
You are on the bridge. You've been transferred from the Foxtrot. You're at the operations console on the bridge.
Yeah, I've got.
I figured I'd give leeway here.
Go on.
Varro is just sitting in the captain's ready room right now.
Penn's trying to come up with different ways to possibly evade, travel, get to where we need to. That's all he's thinking about.
I'm just looking over the operations console to see if I can do anything. I don't quite know what to do.
Just a note, they shot at us. We didn't shoot at them.
Is there any damage to this ship?
No, we've repaired our ship. The only damage was to shielding.
Yeah, I mean, there's some battle scars that are still outside the hull, but most of the breaches have been fixed up, shields recharged, power recharged.
Speaking of, I need to go in and reset our power. Shields.
Could run some diagnostics on the thing, I guess.
No, I was just kind of giving us a little bit of an hour here in case anybody wanted to do an RP scene. Otherwise, I think we can skip ahead to our arrival.
All right. So yeah, if no one wants to do anything else, the Kismet drops out of warp at the last known location of the crystal planet.
Shields up, go to yellow alert. Operations, give me a sensor scan out there.
All right. So for the scan, it's going to be reason and science or reason and security. Difficulty 0, assisted by the ship.
So, where it says difficulty, is that complication range?
No. The difficulty is the number of successes you need to complete the task. So in this particular instance, difficulty 0 means you just need one success, and actually you need no successes to get the information.
So you said reason and science and then roll a task roll, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And make sure you've got it set as 2, yeah.
Do you have a focus here?
Don't have focus used. It doesn't have everything on there.
Yeah, it still might be accidentally set.
Yeah, I think these new sheets are auto going to focus used. But that's still 2 successes.
Yeah, I just wanted to just make sure it's not 4.
Oh, wow.
No, I think it is 4.
Power system, nav systems, computers, construction. No, I think it'll just be 3. So you guys make 3 momentum.
You mean,
All right, 3 momentum. It's good.
well, the ship got a success.
Yes.
So I say
What was
running
the
a sensor.
difficulty?
0.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I say running sensor sweep now, Commander.
So we got 4 momentum.
Then I send the results to you in a direct message on Discord. So just
There's a
I sent you one.
there's a 3 crystal ship patrol at extreme range. They are not showing any reaction. 1 cruiser and 2 fighters.
All right. Contact the Klingons.
Okay, that'd be a hail, right?
Yep.
Is that the same reason in science?
You pretty much don't need to roll for that,
Okay.
unless there's a reason why I think you should.
Okay, so I hail the Klingons.
And
That's great.
Captain O'Cool appears on the screen. What is it, Commander? We're a little busy as the ship kind of rocks from a weapons blast.
Honestly, how are you doing there, Captain? Are we good
Don't
to go
worry
in?
about us, Commander. We pulled a lot of the enemy out of the area. You should be clear.
Understood. Close hailing frequencies.
What was the frequency?
Khan, take us in.
Yes, sir.
Operations, I want continuous scans. See if you can detect any frequencies going between those ships.
So just keep rolling reason and science.
So basically, he's just telling you to keep an eye on them. So if they change anything, I'll tell you.
Gotcha.
Right.
Roger that, Commander.
If possible, I'd also like to make a roll here to see if there's any signs of frequencies in the EM band and subspace bands going between those ships. See if I can tell if they're in communication.
As far as you guys can tell, even from earlier scans, they don't seem to have any way to directly, like, they don't seem to have like a working communication system that you can tell.
All right.
And there doesn't seem to be any type of fluctuation between the different ships with energy.
Perhaps I have a hive mind.
Perhaps. Khan, let me know when we're in weapons range.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I guess we could go ahead and start. If you're trying to get into weapons range, I guess we could go ahead and have the con go ahead and make their roll for movement, whether it be impulse, thrusters to try to get in range. They are at extreme range right now.
Mm-hmm. Move us forward, full impulse.
Extreme means pretty far, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Means if we wanted to get there quickly, we'd have to go to work. But they're still within zones of engagement, so I'm willing to take us in an impulse and see how they react.
Roger.
The impulse is still like a quarter the speed of light, so we're still going really fast.
Oh yeah, touch upon.
Relatively fast.
Relatively fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lieutenant Penn, I'll let you figure out how to get into whatever range you guys want to do.
Well, it'd be.
Yeah, that's right, in tactical.
Yeah, so it'd be impulse. It would require 1 power. There isn't a roll for it, but would it just be control and con?
I think it's just we spend 1 power off the Kismet.
Yeah.
Well,
If there's no roll for it.
if I remember correctly, and I'm going to look this up. So any task by con is a control plus contest, difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's engines and cons. Then if there's circumstances, I can increase the difficulty.
Because of course you
alright.
can.
So like if you guys were trying to do full impulse through a nebula that had some type of radiation that would affect the engines, then I can make that roll more difficult.
Okay, is there any way I could possibly get the jump on them? As close as possible without them realizing?
So the best way to do that would probably be to go to a quick warp jump, and you could potentially warp right on top of them.
Commander, I would recommend a very brief warp jump to get right on top of them. Taken by surprise.
So if I was just like stock still for a second. Do it, Lieutenant.
Alright. So I think that would be 2.
So the question is, so it's still going to be the same roll, and the question is, how close do you want to get to them? So right now you're at extreme. If you spend 1 power, you'll be at long. If you spend 2 power, you'll be at medium. If you spend 3, you'll be at close range.
I'd say
There's no reason for us
2.
to advance to close range.
I'd say 2 really to get medium range. We still get the jump on them. Okay, so that's 2 power from the ship and just a normal con check.
Assisted by the ship.
And so you guys have 5 momentum ready.
Cool.
And
right.
on orders, Lieutenant Penn warps the ship to within medium range, and you catch the patrol basically on their sides. So if your ship was facing forward, they are kind of moving to the left.
Right.
From your point of view.
I forget, do these things have shields?
We did not determine that, although it could be in the Imgen's report.
We caught them with their pants down. Is that what you're saying, essentially?
Well, no, we're asking whether they have shields just base or not.
I don't think we determined that whatsoever.
Right, I'm saying the Imgen may have determined that, and that would be in any reports they filed.
So unless you guys are using something, I'll go to their turn.
Can I use my quick to action?
Sure, you can.
I would like to give it to either the commander or my tactical officer.
Tactical. Fire photon spread.
The quick to action, is that in the command book or in the normal book?
No, that's regular. That's a regular.
Yeah,
ability.
during the first round of any combat, you and your allies may ignore the normal cost to retain the initiative.
Okay, cool.
Where do you find like the meaning of your talents and stuff? Like, where can you find those?
There's a little section right after the character creation thing that's all the talents.
Right, I'll have to look at that again.
There's a good few of them on that website from the normal book.
Oh, I love that talent.
Okay, so who is doing what now?
Tactical is making a photon torpedo attack. Full
Against
spread.
Against what?
Against the ships, because the torpedo spread gives the area effect.
Right, but you gotta aim it at one of them, however.
Okay, we'll aim at whatever is most central. So one of the larger ships.
Okay. Yeah, so it's one of the cruiser type ships, which it kind of changed to look like a steam runner class. Then you have two fighters that kind of no longer look like the shuttles.
What do they look like?
They look like a unique design now.
Interesting. All right. That's valuable information in and of itself.
All right, so Tachibanakara will be firing a torpedo spread then, as per ordered.
What's the difficulty?
So the fire torpedoes is going to be 3.
I'd grab some momentum.
Yeah, spend the momentum on this.
Burning some of that.
Got to burn 3 of it?
I was gonna say I'd spend 3.
Yeah,
to
I'd
make
say
this
spend 3.
to make
Ooh,
this
okay.
work. Well, because this is an NPC.
Oh. So since you're firing a torpedo spread, I actually get 2 more threat for it.
Of course
I'm
he
giving you
does.
the threat here for this opening volley.
And you do have a focus of tactical systems.
That he does.
Thank God.
So you're rolling 4 die,
Oh yeah, with a focus.
Yeah, with a focus.
assisted by the ship.
Oh,
It's
that's
weapon.
right. The ship does get to help.
So how much momentum do you spend?
3.
We
Just
spent
spell
3.
3.
Okay, cool.
I'll roll for
Fire
the ship.
torpedo volley.
What is the ship?
What?
Really?
Wow.
Oh
A
dear.
19, a 15, and a 20.
Is it daring security, not control?
Oh,
It's control, I think.
For torpedoes? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a
it's-
weapon.
Yep.
It's weapon security. Ship has a focus.
even if it was daring, we wouldn't have gotten more than we did.
What, 9 in both?
Okay.
You can still hit with the ship though.
Yeah, we can still hit.
Yes.
Okay, we still hit.
And a
We
complication.
just don't get any of that momentum back.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll a random d20 for system, and then go ahead and roll me the torpedo damage.
And what is it that spread does with damage again? I have to take a look.
If you roll an effect, it affects 1 additional system, which deals half the damage to the initial hit, rounding up.
Okay.
And then it gives +1 damage for every effect.
Want me to
rolled
roll?
after the first.
Want me to roll it?
Yeah.
Okay. Photon torpedoes away. Oh. Oh.
That's good. That's good.
Well, damn.
Because that's how much damage?
That's 10 damage plus 5 damage to another system. So that's some breaches there, hopefully.
I think that could be a decimated ship.
Well, they're
It's
scale
so
4.
So it's actually 9 because it's +1 after the first effect. Because the first effect is what affects the target.
Okay.
So it's actually a scale 3 ship.
So I was just wrong across the board.
And then it does half of the damage.
I mean,
So
still, that's a
5.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does 5 more. Okay.
Get wrecked.
Yep, that's not what I wanted to roll. Okay. All right, so as you fire your torpedo spread across the bow of the cruiser, you notice that multiple holes from the torpedoes are caused in the crystal itself. However, the ship does appear to be functioning and returns fire. And I'm going to spend 3 threat here to buy some dice.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to evasive maneuver because of warp.
Right.
Yes. And then again, if you had evasive maneuvered, would not have hit.
Well, that as well.
So,
Oh, sounds like Liarka is having a bad day. Ow. Although 5 of that damage gets soaked.
Yeah. So unless they are using a high yield thing as well, that's only 1 damage to our shields.
Or vicious.
Or vicious.
Or he can just spend threat to make it whatever the hell he wants.
Of course he can.
No.
Don't. Why did you say that?
Yeah.
If I get on his good side, he's only going to kill you.
As the Kismet blows up, the brave con officer steals a shuttle and flees.
He boldly flees.
Yeah.
To live and fight another day.
He boldly flees like no one has done before.
Okay, so in response to the attacks, as the beings shoot their weapon, it impacts the shields, and as it impacts the shield, more energy is put into the beam, causing 6 damage to the shields. And I did spend 3 threat too.
To pump your.
Right.
You say 6 to the shields?
6 to the shields, which causes a breach to the engines.
Ooh.
Eh.
And it's
Not
this,
good.
and this is actually 2 breaches to the engines.
Oh no.
Sweet.
That's bad. That's very bad.
And the turn passes.
Shields at 45%.
Multiple breaches the engine.
Ops, get our shields back up.
Oh, and you guys lose 2 power immediately.
Ugh.
Are you trying to kill us here? Don't answer that. I know you are.
I think he is.
Hey, after the trading missions, the gloves have come off, guys.
God damn you, Space Jesus!
Oh dear. Commander? What?
Okay, so just so you guys know, so until someone does the restore minor action to the engines, all tasks assisted by the ship's engines or that have a power requirement increase in both difficulty and complication range.
Ah,
That makes my job infinitely harder.
yeah. So is that an engineering task or a ops task?
So this is it's a restore minor actions, but it's probably from the ops or engineering. So probably the ops.
All right, what do I need to roll for that?
So this is just a minor action. It doesn't take care of the breaches, but it takes care of the negative because you kind of rerouted power around the damaged systems.
Okay.
It's kind of like how it's set up. It's like you went to the backup systems.
So would
Essentially,
that be reason and engineering?
it's
Camera shaking. We're all getting thrown around.
No, it's a minor action.
yeah,
So
it's a minor action, so it's no roll. That's your minor action for the turn.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm rerouting power away from the damaged commander.
See, and then now it would be your task roll, which I believe there's a list
of things you can do.
Yeah, so in the space combat folder,
I'm scrolling
there's
down to ops.
ops position and tasks, and that has kind of some stuff you can do.
It says power management, regeneration, regenerate shields, damage control.
I'd honestly do damage control or getting us more
Yeah.
shields.
Yeah, one of those.
I'll do damage control.
Well, you guys have it's damage. Never mind. You can repair a breach.
Yeah, that's damage control. In
Yeah,
mine,
that's what
so-
that's
Yeah,
for.
we just got 2 breaches to our engines, so I didn't know that when I
So-
issued the order. So
It says can choose a damaged or disabled system task presence plus engineering. So what do I roll for that?
Presence and engineering and
Oh
the
wait. So hold on. You just have impacts, so you can't use the damage control yet
Oh.
because they're not damaged.
Oh,
Okay,
I thought
then
they
I'll
were.
just
Yeah,
regenerate.
no. So you guys just have 2 breaches. It takes 3 breaches on one system to make it damaged.
So regenerate shields then I guess would be the best bet then.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's see.
ops, get me my shields back.
Control plus control plus engineering. All right. And there's any difficulty on that? For regenerating
Difficulty.
shields?
It's difficulty 1, and it's assisted by the ship's structure and
Is
engineering.
that task roll 1 then? For
No. Your task roll is always 2, unless you buy dice.
Or if you're assisting, then it's only 1.
okay,
But
then then for the complication range, does that change then?
that's just
No.
one.
Yeah, the complication is just
So it's just a control engineering task range 2 and complication range 1, right?
yep,
Nothing else? Okay.
right.
Okay, so you at least did it.
And
see-
then the ship gets structure and engineering, so you get the momentum back. And then So the ship regains 2 points of shields, +2 for each momentum spent. And
I'd
this
spend
does
the
have,
momentum.
and this
Spend
does have
momentum.
okay, so you guys get 4 shield back, and this does have a power requirement of 1.
Down to
Alright.
10 power.
Shields up. Shields are back.
Shields up.
Shields
We are
probably at about
spending
85%.
we're spending momentum to keep the initiative here, and firing again.
Using
This time with my action.
Okay.
So that's 2 momentum, correct?
So I got you guys at 0 momentum, correct?
I have us at 2.
No,
Did I miss something?
yeah, so if you spend that, you are at 0.
Right. Okay. We spend that at 0, and then I'm using my direct action. Hit them again, full phasers.
Don't forget, you can use fast targeting systems.
Yeah.
For no extra cost.
What's the systems?
And that's to
Target
target a
their weapon.
specific system, right?
Target their weapons.
All right, and we're out of momentum, right?
We are out of momentum, but I'm assisting on this.
Okay.
And the ship also.
All right.
And this is a phaser shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Firing phasers at the enemy weapon systems.
Okay. Oh,
Damn it.
And the ship. Oh my god.
we missed.
We missed.
Can I transfer over to the crystal side?
Oh, don't forget. Hang on. Commander, don't forget. Next time, on your next turn, you should create an advantage and use your thing.
Yeah. Forgot that I had that.
Like, make
Okay,
yourself
order of
super hard to
priors.
hit.
Okay.
Right,
So
I'm
now it
gonna-
passes back to them.
Yep, so I'm going to spend a momentum by 3 dice. They're going to they're going to do a test that you guys are not privy to what they're doing.
Okay.
I got to find out what test that is, though. What do I want them to do?
They are going to mock us in their own language.
Yeah, just silence as they mock us in the language we can't understand. We go, well, what happened? Why didn't they fire?
They're just
I
on the
fired.
floor rolling around laughing at us.
They're going like, guys, what the fuck are you doing over there?
Really,
I'm just trying to figure out
yeah,
how the hell we're gonna get out of this crystal thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very difficult considering it sounds like they have eyes everywhere.
The walls talked to you.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right, I am
Oh, wait,
sorry.
the walls
I am
literally
sorry,
have
guys.
ears.
I am rolling ridiculously well today.
We're gonna
Yeah.
Ah.
Stop doing that,
die, aren't we?
please.
Like,
gonna
we're not
die,
rolling
aren't we?
abysmally, it's just the GM is rolling fantastically.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to spend 4 threat,
Oh
And-
no.
and before your very eyes, the entire ship just seems to repair itself, and all the holes that were in the ship are fixed.
You
Well,
gotta give us something here.
Oh, come on!
No one scenarios are supposed to be the Kobayashi Maru, not daily activities.
I really hope that this isn't going to be our everyday experiences.
And it passes back to you guys.
Ugh.
Well, there goes all that effort.
Yeah. Ideas, people?
I could
well-
I could look for structural weaknesses in the ship.
Wait, who hasn't gone? Yeah, I think we're back to the top of the turn order.
Oh, so then it'll be them to finish up then, because
So-
I still have 3 more turns of theirs to go.
Fuck.
One thing, speaking of finding weaknesses, one thing I just thought of is crystalline structures have,
Specific weak points.
yeah, they have angles at which, if you hit them correctly, you can cleave them rather easily.
Yes, it's
So
true.
we can justify an advantage like that.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Are you kidding
What?
me?
What?
Bullshit.
GM cannot miss today.
Like, I actually do hope we don't die.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm good. Don't know about the rest of you.
Like, I'm actually starting to get a bit worried now.
Alright,
Yeah.
So I bank a threat to that. and the cruiser makes a turn and heads straight for your ship, moving within close range. The other two fighters fire upon your ship.
I mean, fuck. Doesn't quite cover this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Finally.
They
And,
blow
okay.
themselves up.
Okay, so now it'll pass back to you guys.
So
Okay.
wait, do those how do those complications resolve?
Uh,
Do you just sack your own threat?
sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so much.
Like that's a good way I think of doing complications sometimes is instead of making an obvious complication, it's a drain on your threat.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could go ahead and throw 2 away for that.
Then wait, how much damage did it do?
It was less than 5, so I think our resistance covers that, right?
Yeah, they didn't hit.
Okay. Borrow,
Or one of them hit, but it just kind of bounced off the shields.
Borrow, I'd suggest doing a thing.
Hey, Captain, you're not on the ship.
I know.
Ed, can I ask a question which probably won't work? Can
Surrender?
no.
I'm sorry.
Is it possible to, with the cruiser being in close range, to warp and drag them with us?
Wouldn't that pull a Star Wars if you warp through them?
No, I mean, like, can I possibly
Let's not-
damage them?
Let's not speak of that Star Wars crap.
Yeah.
No, not Star Wars. I mean, is it
What?
possible to damage them if I warp next to them?
You're more likely to damage us.
Probably not.
Well, shit.
Like, there are possible things we can do, but
So who's going to go first?
Ops, scan that thing for weaknesses in the structure. Structure. Yeah.
Roger that. Let's see. So it's task. So okay, fuck. So control plus science. Okay. Control and science.
And the ship assists with its what?
And it's just task roll. It's always task roll too. And it always keeps resetting.
Probably be science
Sensor
and
security.
yeah,
Sensor security.
something like that.
Yeah.
So the difficulty should go down by 1.
Right.
What is
Because we have the advanced sensors suites.
Yeah, what is the difficulty on that?
2, I think. Wait, what does it say?
Difficulty 1.
Scan for weaknesses, difficulty 0
So-
for us, yeah.
Oh, nice. And then let's see what the ship gives
believe.
us. Okay, we got 2 momentum anyway.
I got a 1.
Yeah.
So you've created a weakness.
All right, so as you scan the ship, you think that if you were to kind of focus in a phaser blast on one of the parts of the ship, it could potentially pierce the crystal and kind of blow a hole in the ship for large amounts of damage.
If
Alright.
we launch a barrage at this spot on the ship, we could cause a massive amount of damage if we pierce it.
Transmit that to weapons.
And send it over to tactical.
And then passes back to them.
Mhm.
All right. So the Zirconian cruiser is going to launch. I'm going to buy a threat. Okay.
Oh.
I actually banked 3 threat from that. Six.
Oof.
So I'm gonna hit you guys for another 5 points of damage. I'm gonna spend 2 threat as well. And this one is going to be 2 breaches to your weapons.
Oh no.
Oh, hey.
Well, holy dickless wonders.
Well, you should be able to use your minor action to get them back up, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Oh wait. Oh, so 2 breaches takes the system out?
It impacts the system. 3 on your ship damages the system to where they have to be repaired.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yep. Tactical, hit those coordinates.
Yeah, you can just use your minor action to restore it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're at tactical, right?
Oh, right. Yes. Touch of Banakara is at tactical.
So he should just be able to do that.
Okay, so I just mitigate the debuff basically
Yeah.
as a minor action.
Right.
And you also I'd suggest buying a D20 for this, because one of the other things we get for Scan for Weakness is if you succeed, you get a bonus challenge die for every D20 you purchase.
Right.
So you'll get another one if you do.
Oh,
We also
get
really
another-
want to hit.
Yeah, plus we want to hit.
yeah, that does help.
So yeah, spend a momentum.
All right. Oh, okay, there we go. And firing at given coordinates.
Nice. And
And ship,
You get anything back?
yes,
you
Yep,
do.
we get it back. That's good.
Right, so this one picks up the piercing 2, and I believe it gets.
Oh yeah.
And I believe it gets 1 more challenge dice, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I'll roll another challenge die. Okay, nothing. And I did hit
Okay.
enter.
And then we've got that
Ooh.
versatile 2 to spend right here.
That's true. So let's see how much we
So
dealt.
right now you're at 8.
We're at 8.
Yes.
Okay.
So I just spend that to get another 2.
Yeah, spend that for the 2. We can get 2 breaches then.
Nice.
So what did you spend the 2 on?
Just more
Extra
damage, so
damage.
that we got to 10. We got to 10.
Okay.
That means 2 breaches rather than 1 breach.
So
And they
Just
should
because-
both be on the structure, I believe.
hold
because
on. So just because you guys go to 10, it doesn't 2 breaches. It's 5 or more damage.
Oh. So wait,
Huh.
let's rethink that then.
wait, yeah, I thought
No.
Alex.
So for the damage, it's if a ship suffers 5 or more damage from a single attack or hazard, after reduction for resistance, the system hit suffers a breach. If the ship is reduced to 0 shields by that attack or hazard, it suffers a breach. If the ship had 0 shields before the attack and the attack or hazard inflicts 1 or more damage, the ship also suffers a breach.
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe instead of spending the 2 on bonus damage roll for devastating for an extra to hit a different
I
system.
mean, we'd have to
It's
spend.
not enough. It's not enough of a hit, I think, to make devastating worth it. I think it'll be better to go power loss. Give them less
Ooh.
to work with.
That's a
Power
good
loss
idea.
2.
Yeah.
So
It's
add
like-
subtract 2 power.
Okay. All right, so you're at 8 damage. You suffer a breach. Let me get my dice rollers.
Frankly, I think our hang on. I think our phaser attacks have generally been better than
Yeah.
torpedo shots.
Okay, so then the
Wait,
turn
hang on.
passes to them, right?
Wait, I forget. We have effects on this thing, don't we?
On
Spread or area, right? Or is that something that we have to pay momentum for?
I think that's something we have to pay momentum for.
Never mind.
Also, I think spreader area is on the photon torpedoes, not the phasers, right?
So if you have, I think it's arrays. I think the array
do.
has spread or area, but let me double check. It's either the arrays or the banks. I can't remember.
I just want to.
The arrays are the more advanced option.
I just want to see how we use that because
Right.
that's something that.
Okay,
might come
so
in handy.
when declaring the attack with the array, the attacking character may choose to grant one of the following, either area or spread to the attack.
But it increases the difficulty, right?
It doesn't. It just gives that.
Oh.
So
Huh.
that's just a free thing that we haven't been using.
Can we use it
It's a little late now, though.
next time?
Next time. Okay, so now we know that exists.
So we've been misusing our phaser arrays this whole time.
Right.
Don't look at me, I just fly the thing.
Oh, we have more than one phaser to fire. Okay.
Well, that's what these extra buttons are for.
So that's why we've been doing so.
Oh, should I
shit.
think?
All right, so
that thought was that an external thought?
so it goes back to them, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have the momentum to keep it right now. I mean, we do technically, but
Hey, I'm trapped in a crystalline cage. I'm allowed to be as salty as I want.
You get to spend eternity with your little cat lover.
Fuck off.
Okay. So, is there anyone left to go on your ship?
Yeah.
we just started our round, so it's everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me go ahead and finish them up.
Wait, you finished them up already? Like
Uh,
last round? We haven't finished our round. We just started our round.
so this is round 2.
Right.
They
Yeah,
have
we're
not,
in round 2 now.
They have not finished all of round 2.
Right. We haven't either.
So who's next on round? So it's been round 2. Like this is the second round.
Mhm.
Like we're almost through it.
Yeah. So which of us is going to go next is the question.
Right.
Right.
So if this is your third turn, I have to go back and finish them up. So who
No,
has
this
not
isn't our
gone?
thord turn. This is our second turn.
Right. So
and
who has
Neither
not
I
gone?
nor Pend, I believe, have gone yet.
Okay. Cool.
Con, evasive action.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Okay, but that's not what I was looking to do.
Hey, if you have another idea, let me know.
Well, considering we can now focus on a specific weakness, I was going to go attack pattern to lower the difficulty of all of our attacks until my next turn, meaning we can take advantage of that weakness.
But
the
doesn't
weakness the weakness is just for one turn though.
No, I'm sticking with evasive.
Yeah.
Considering the state of our shields.
Yeah, you guys have been getting plastered by these things.
Okay, can I use a momentum, or do you want me to buy one? Because then I can re-roll, because I want to try and gain some momentum.
Ooh, threat.
Yeah, so
Just
let's
gonna give the GM a threat.
yeah, I'll give
I am
you.
at 10 threat right now, just so you guys know.
Well, that means that you're below your starting threat.
Yeah.
I started at 10.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Well, that's okay.
So I'll give you one threat.
Okay.
So will you just immediately gain 2 threat once the ensign shows up?
It depends when he shows up and what's going on,
Got it.
and if he shows up.
So can the ship roll a structure con, please?
Oh, it's structure con?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, nice roll.
So difficulty was 1. We gain 3 momentum.
So I got
Good.
you at 5,
And we're now harder to hit.
and it's harder to hit.
Oh, and don't forget, Pend, you also do have untapped potential if you ever want to use that.
Yeah, I never actually wrote down what untapped potential was.
Okay, here's what untapped potential does. Whenever you succeed at a task that you used momentum for, you get to roll a challenge die, if you so choose. And if you get a number of momentum equal to what you roll on the challenge die. But if you roll an effect, the GM gains a threat, in addition to the momentum you receive.
Okay. Can I still use that?
You
Uh,
didn't.
you
You didn't use momentum.
Yeah.
Well, I would have bought one and spent it.
Well, you did it with threat, not momentum this time.
Oh, yeah,
Isn't the specific wording, though, that you give the GM 1 threat in exchange for 1 momentum?
yeah, when you
That
attempt
is then spent?
add threat to buy momentum.
If it says it that way, I'll allow the roll.
Oh, okay then.
If
You
it says
wanna-
it that way, but someone has to read it to me.
Let's see. Talents.
So this would be under character creation, though, is where untapped potential is.
Well, the talent that we really care about though is bold,
Yeah.
because the question is whether or not the way bold works is to you get a momentum by buying a threat. Because if that's how that works, yeah, because I don't think you can just buy a die with threat. I think there's actually a step to it, like you buy a momentum with threat.
You must choose a
Right.
single discipline when you choose this target. Whenever you attempt a task with that discipline, and you buy 1 or more d20s by adding threat, you may re-roll a single d20. You may select this target
Ugh.
multiple times, or
Nope.
Nope
Doesn't
on that one.
doesn't say momentum, so that would be a negatory.
okay.
It works much better with caution.
So just from the threat momentum, it says that you may instead choose to pay some or all the cost by adding 1 point of threat.
Yeah,
So you're not exchanging for your momentum, you're adding to my threat pool.
Yep. That's what I figured.
Fair enough.
So, and so that challenge die you just rolled does not count.
Yeah, that's fine.
Unfortunately.
But you guys are at 5, so you're pretty good on the momentum.
Yeah,
Right.
just a thing to remember.
So that was his turn. I'm going to go ahead and go to their turn.
We are now harder to hit.
Yep. But this is the crew's third turn.
Really? Wait.
Or not third turn this round. Because they get 1 turn per scale.
Right.
So they're 3.
Come on, Klingons, show up anytime now.
Yeah, the Klingons are keeping the rest of the people busy.
Structure. I just don't remember what all these rules are for, and I'm actually having to use some of the other stuff. Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it did. It just didn't make a noise. Cool. Cool. So that, I believe, is a success. Yes.
I think that's a miss, because it's normally difficulty 2 to hit with energy weapons, and we're
I'm not.
increased difficulty.
I'm not shooting.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
he's doing something else.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's good-ish.
Yeah.
It's called
We're not
ramming
I mean, they're
speed.
repairing again.
And I did spend a threat. And you guys see some of the damage on their ship repair itself.
Some.
Yeah, some,
Not all this time. That's good.
Better than last time.
And we'll pass the turn back to you. I believe this is someone
This is the
else's
commander.
last. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's everyone that's went in this turn, right? So it'd be the commander and the 2 fighters.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm going to create an advantage here. That's what I would like to do. I'm analyzing their tactics. So I'm getting a bit of a precognitive sense of what I think they're going to do.
Okay.
And this is going to allow us to predict where they're going to be, aiding our targeting ability.
Okay.
And are you going to
Yes, I'm using my order of tactics here.
so we have 2 advantages.
Right. Yeah. What was the thingy? Yeah. Why is it not selecting the die?
Oh, that's right. You actually have to make a check.
Yeah. And it's not letting me click the number 3.
You have to double click it.
Oh, there we go.
It's the same with
Right.
most of the stuff on that side. You have to double click to actually make sure it takes.
That's weird. Why is it doing that? And I have a focus here. Strategy and tactics. There we go.
Hey.
Ooh.
All right.
There we
So you attempted to try to analyze
Their movement patterns.
So good news that it sounds like we're not going to have to do any more scan for weaknesses.
Right.
Or wait, no. I'm sorry. Scan for weakness does something different.
We're not going to have to attack pattern.
Right. We're not going to have to attack pattern.
But we could attack pattern and get even more benefits.
well, I'm trying to think of how I want this advantage to work, because I don't think it's going to be like their ship loses a resistance for the advantage. Like, you're trying to analyze what they're doing. So I think how we'll play this out is before your turn, before your turn, before the cruiser's turn, I'm going to basically tell you what their next move is so you can plan ahead for it.
Okay. I like that.
So that would be the advantage gained. Is like, you think they're going to do this, and then I can spend threat for them to do something different.
Wait, but how would having another advantage like that help us though?
You get to plan out for their next move. So for example, if let's say they go first.
Okay, so you're
So let's
requiring us
say
to have two advantages.
hold on. So let's say you guys go first. I would tell you what their next move is, so that you can plan around what their move is.
No, I get that, but I'm saying you're requiring us to essentially spend 2 advantages to get this.
But what's your other advantage? You only rolled one.
I have
advantage.
the Grand Kite Order of Tactics. When I choose to spend that, I can get 2 advantages when I make 1 advantage.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
you get an identical advantage.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want
My
that second
idea here
advantage.
was
Well,
that-
because how he was gaining advantage is to look for their tactics. He wasn't trying to find a weakness. He was trying to figure out what their tactics were. So essentially, what I'm doing, and yes, this might take up all 4 of them, but every turn you're going to know exactly what they're doing.
And that, I think
for the
pretty
duration
powerful.
of this. Yeah, for the
that's
duration
pretty
of this battle.
Agreed.
He
I
knows
just
what
think-
the cruiser is going to do every single time.
Cool.
And
I think
and
it's
the
just as long
fighters
as we're on the
are
same page there.
yeah, and the fighters are shooting every time. So before on your turn, before the cruiser's turn, I tell you what they're doing.
Good.
And then
I'm happy with that spend.
And then for the second part of that, I have to spend threat in order to change that.
Okay.
So if I decide to do something different after I see what you guys do, I have to spend 2 threat to change what they do. So I think that's both their advantages.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. So this way he knows what they're doing because he's trying to figure out their tactics, which is fine. And then the second advantage is for me to change what I say, I have to spend 2 threat.
Cool. I think we're
So-
all on the same page now.
Okay, so now this will be the fighter's turn, and again, the fighters are just shooting. They're scale 1s. They just shoot.
Damn it.
Well, you guys got evasive action, so that was a miss.
Right.
That was a miss.
Nice.
And now
Evasive
it,
action is good.
and now it will go back to the top of the order. So it'll be with you guys.
Right.
So their first action is probably going to be evasive action at this point.
Tactical lock tractor beam.
Right, locking tractor beam on the large ship, I assume.
Yes, sir.
And is that control security?
Indeed it is.
I'm gonna buy a dice if y'all don't mind.
Go ahead.
I'm
We
good
got
with that.
plenty of momentum. And what's the ship assist?
Same for weapons, I believe.
Structure security.
Structure security. Okay.
Okay.
Difficulty 2. So you guys would technically bank.
Momentum.
Yeah, we got the momentum back and we
Right.
banked one.
What's the power requirement on this?
It's a 1.
Okay.
Oh shoot, we haven't been keeping track of power.
I've been keeping partial track of power. I believe we're at 8.
Okay.
We fired once since I stopped tracking with phasers, and we shoot. Does evasive action take a power?
It does, yes. Takes up 1. And
Okay, then
and
we're at 7.
and we also did the warp jump pre-fight, which cost 2.
We accounted for that.
So 7 power.
Man, we're at like half power, a little less.
Yeah.
Well, I'd suggest that next time the op has an
Ops can
opportunity.
come around and give us power.
Ops can get us some power or shields.
Mm-hmm.
I look
I'd
at-
suggest
I
power
look at I look at which one do you prefer? Power or shields?
Get us shields right now.
All right. So did you guys spend the 2 momentum to keep your turn?
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're down to 3.
All right. So I actually still have you at 6. So then
Okay,
you gain
4,
2
sorry.
from that. So hold on, you gain 2 from that. Oh, I guess you guys would lose it at the end of there. No, you could spend that to keep momentum. I still got you at 6.
So do you want me to roll?
Or I lied. I have you at 5. I lied. After spending the momentum to keep your turn, I have you at 5.
Confusion.
And yeah.
Sparkle effect.
I have a lot of chips in front of me trying to track all this stuff.
Yeah.
So do I roll my regenerate shields then? I'm confused.
Yeah, you're gonna roll your regenerate shields.
Okay, control and engineering.
Hey. And what does the ship help? No, the ship probably doesn't help here.
Regenerate.
I want to say it does.
Yeah, I feel like it does.
Maybe engineering.
It doesn't look like it.
Structure and engineering.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's difficulty 2, so you did succeed. So right now you can gain 2, and you could spend momentum and get 2 more for each momentum you spend.
Spend 2 momentum here. Look at us, almost up to full shields.
Nice.
Or full power.
No,
Shields
this
at
was a
80
shields roll.
Shields at 88%.
Mm-hmm.
And I got you guys at 3 momentum.
Correct. And now turn passes back to them.
Okay, so what's the power of your tractor beam?
Our tractor beam is power 4. Yeah. 4.
Okay, so they're still going to try the evasive action, but their difficulty is now 4 to complete it. And if they succeed at the difficulty, they break out of. If they succeed at the task, they break out of it. If not, they're stuck.
Got it.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and buy and spend 3 to buy 2 dice.
Complication.
What's the difficulty for evasive? Oh wait, no, I said it was 4. Never mind. And it's assisted by Mircon. Ship structure con.
What?
And
Yeah.
I get 1 of the threat back, and they are. So they evade. They try to evade your tractor beam, and they're able to break its clutches.
But
Didn't
hey,
quite catch him,
they
bro.
but hey, they had to blow a turn to do that.
They did.
This is true.
And it will.
They didn't get
Well,
any.
basically, I had to spend 3 threat to get out of that.
Right.
I mean, you
And-
got a threat back.
Yeah. So now it passes to you guys. Their next turn is going to be to fire.
Right. Let's see who hasn't gone here. We have tactical went, ops went.
I can still go.
Right.
More,
Just
more evasive action.
if we don't maintain evasive action, if we don't go to pen yet, their next turn is after me, and we still have evasive action up.
Oh, okay.
So the economy here is best to have me go next.
Oh, okay then. Ooh, I got it. Generate some momentum.
I'm using the rally.
Boy, if only I were
Rally.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were here, we
My
would have
present-
died.
My presence command is fucking insane.
It is. Mine's decent. Let's see. I have never used this before. Difficulty
Presence
0.
command difficulty 0.
Yep.
The more successes, the more momentum you gain.
Mm-hmm.
So you get
3 momentum. We're up to full.
You're at full.
Nice. Good. That was a
Yeah.
good use of.
All right. So it goes back to them unless you're spending any of that momentum.
We are not, because our spend would be to have us do the thing that we have right now.
So
Yeah,
why
we're
not?
saving it for penned.
Okay. And you still have evasive actions, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have evasive action.
Okay. I'm going to spend 1 threat. Did I mention GM can't miss today?
Seriously.
What the fuck?
Nerf GM.
Do we want
That's
to
what
take
you
out the
should-
spiders?
That's what you should have spent that on.
Oh, what?
Well, at least we got shields back up in time for them to go down again.
So I'm going to spend 1 threat and other resources I have to make you take 5 damage.
Oof.
And the system will be, I believe that's structure. Yes.
Shields are at 50.
And that is not a that is not a effect, so it will pass to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Pen to make us harder to hit.
Will do. Do you want me to spend a momentum to see if we can get enough to spend for an advantage?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hey, hang on. Does his let me see Pend for a second.
So yeah,
No, I just
basically,
wanna
I need to go at the very start of combat, then the end of every turn order.
Oh, I have a question.
Right.
Even though there is oh, but the task isn't increased in difficulty due to damage. Never mind.
Oh, I should probably tell you what they're doing before you go, right?
Oh, yes.
Because I forgot about that. They are going to repair a breach.
I think we're just pissing in the wind at this point.
Can I do an attack
Mhm.
pattern just to help finish them off?
I mean, he's rolling so well, anyways, that evasive action doesn't seem to matter right now.
Jeez, yeah. Like seriously.
So, yeah. Attack pattern gamma.
Okay, and that'll be assisted by the ship's weapons and con. Oh, it's a difficulty 2.
Okay, we succeeded.
I will bank the threat. Thank you.
So we did get it.
Wait, which one's Gamma?
And it's back to us.
And that was
This is-
1 power.
Oh, shoot. Down to 6.
Oh boy, we better.
All right, so then it'll go to their turn, correct?
Wait, we haven't done anything yet, have we? Right, we did. Yeah.
He rolled attack pattern, yes.
Right.
So that was everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to finish the cruiser and then the fighters. I know what these are going.
Oh, what?
Like I said,
This is horse shit.
And
this is the round that's gonna matter.
and the hull repairs more. As you guys
I
look
feel like
through.
these ships might be a little too strong for us.
I mean, maybe if we focus the fighters first, the things that are
I am
constantly
just-
shooting us.
I am just rolling really well. I mean, hell, even my fighters are hitting. They're not doing any damage, but they're hitting. Except for
Right.
this guy.
Okay, finally one missed.
And so that would be the end of this turn. It goes back to you guys.
Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about the fighters right now. If they do hit, it's not going to be nearly as strong as that cruiser. So we need
That's a
to
good
take out
point.
the cruiser. Alright. Let's see. You can have multiple advantages running at the same time, correct?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take the first turn here and create an advantage with reason security.
All right, so yeah, again, you have to tell me how you're
Yeah, I know.
to gain the advantage.
I'm just thinking it up. Okay, so on this one, I want to be looking at the crystalline patterns here, trying to essentially do that scan for weakness, but with my tactical sense. Trying to figure out, okay, I seen the information that Ops sent me about where these things are weak. The crystalline structure is possibly also weak at these points.
What's the best way to hit them?
Right. I want to create a firing advantage here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I think this would be your.
I think it's reason security.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either
And you
reason or
probably have-
either reason or insight is what I'd say.
If you'll let me use insight, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And you probably have focus.
I do. Let's see. Shipboard tactical systems.
Oh,
Let's see. I'm going to buy an extra die here.
Okay, down to 6 or down to 5.
All right.
hey.
All right,
Great.
you get it back.
Get it back.
And let's see, what advantage do I want you to gain?
Only tactical can shoot.
For the remainder of the scene, their resistance for you is going to be 2.
All right.
Because you use the knowledge of the weakness and of their tactics to pinpoint areas of the ship where the resistance is weakened during certain parts of the turn, or like during certain parts of the fight. So you're able to guess
Right.
like when that is and try to shoot at that focused point.
All right. Let's spend 2 momentum here, keep the initiative, and fire.
Yep.
Tactical. Target.
Oh, I guess I should tell you what they're doing, because I forgot that again. Yeah, they're just gonna shoot.
Right.
That's why we're gonna fire first.
Spread.
Target their weapons.
Oh, that's right. We can do that.
I keep forgetting we can do that.
So yeah, this will increase the difficulty unless for
No,
some
it
reason
will
you-
not.
Unless for
Fast
some
target.
reason you have something that you.
We
Fast
have-
targeting systems.
Fast targeting, which we keep forgetting to use.
And you have attack pattern.
Yeah, so
So this is actually a difficulty 1.
1.
Okay,
That's
so
what
I
we
guess I don't need to spend one of our 2 momentum. So
Well, I got you at 4, but
okay, well I missed something.
And weapon security.
Right. And firing phasers at any the weapons.
Yes.
Okay, we got
Oh.
3 momentum back. That's 1 bonus momentum on top of our phaser momentum there. So we have
Okay,
3 combat momentum to
Roll
spend on this.
damage, please.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
4, 5, 6. So right now I got you at 7 damage.
7 damage. All right.
Or I lied, 5 damage.
Okay.
5 damage.
After resistance.
That's still enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2 of those for swift task. So we can fire again. That'll only bring it up difficulty 2.
That does sound fun.
And 1
Oh,
Penetration.
guys. Super quick. This just popped up in my notifications. Modifius just announced the impending release of the Star Trek Adventures Operations Division Supplemental Rulebook.
Huzzah.
Available
Hey,
for-
nice.
Available for pre-order in September.
I
Cool.
wonder if they'll cover Reputation.
That'd be cool.
Sorry, I just totally.
Okay, so you use 2 for swift task.
Right. Those are our 2 versatile, and then we got 1 overflow momentum from the roll. Because it brought us back up to 6, and then we have 1 extra from that. Roll,
We're gonna
which.
use our.
Well, use one of them to get piercing.
Right. So we're going to use 1 for penetration 1.
Okay. So
Or-
that would make it 6 damage.
Correct.
No, penetration ignores 2 points of resistance, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
for each
So-
point of momentum.
Right, and we
Yeah,
spent
okay,
1
cool.
momentum.
Yep. Okay.
So-
So
Yeah, piercing
No-
works best
No
when
resistance
you're
on this.
I
yeah,
got you
piercing works
at I got
best
you at
when-
7.
Right.
Yeah. works best when your target has an even amount
Right.
of resistance.
Okay. Let's see. Anybody else have something they want to chip in here? And we targeted their weapon, so you don't have to roll for system.
So how
Oh,
does
yeah, that's
spread
right.
and area work? For us.
They
Well,
work.
we should have declared that in advance again.
I
God
did
damn it.
try and say it, but
You did?
no one listens to me.
I remembered it right after I saw the roll.
Well, hey, next time we do the swift task, we can.
Yeah, because we're doing another swift. We're doing a swift task this round, so
So we can just declare it
tactical.
then.
go twice.
All right. So tactical or yeah.
Their weapons took a breach.
Yes. So you guys spent swift task, so whoever just went can attempt 1 more additional task, increasing the difficulty of that task by 1.
So that would be tactical.
And that's up to what's the difficulty now?
2, I
2.
believe.
2. Assisted by the ship.
Right.
Do I spend a
feel like the-
momentum?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say,
spend
I
a
think I'd like
momentum,
to
yeah.
spend a momentum just to be safe.
We'll probably get it back.
Pew! There we go.
And ship, please.
Oh, what's the ship rolling?
Weapon security.
Wait, we did spread, right?
You said
Yeah,
it.
we
Okay.
declared. I do declare.
Okay, so that'll be another bonus momentum we'll be able to use on this.
Yep.
And roll
We have to get
phasers.
really focused for combat.
So right now I have you at 8,
Can we spend 1 for piercing?
and honestly, that will not matter. The ship blows up with that last volley.
All right.
There we go.
I don't think there's anything else we need to do here with that overflow momentum. It's not going to be applicable.
All right.
Does anything spill over to the fighters, or is that not what spread does?
No, spread is on the same ship.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's area and it's within close range and it's per effect. But fighters will do what they've been doing. Oh my god, he hit.
Well, doesn't overcome our.
Yeah.
What a travesty.
Oh,
And-
what's our
You hit.
wait, what is our power at now?
Our power is at 3, I believe.
Okay, I think our next course of action should be to restore some power.
You're not hit.
Yeah.
So your operations.
Yeah, that'll be operations.
All right, and
Don't worry,
it'll-
that's my next order.
all right. So I went ahead and took care of both fighters' movements, so it'll be back to your turn.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Ops tells me we're running low on power now.
Yeah, we're running a little low on power, guys. You know.
Divert anything from our reserves.
Roger that. Let's see. Oh, yeah,
You sound so resigned.
which I might be. Okay, and does the ship help me on that one?
Yeah, I think it's
Actually, hang on,
Ship
I
does
just-
not.
I just thought
Right,
about
this is
one
your
of my things comes in,
different one.
one of my things comes into effect if I'm doing an engineering thing. I can use one of my talents. I think. I'll fucking know.
can
What's
you
the talent?
Oh, it's one of them that if I roll an engineering or a science thing, I can roll a d20 for something. I just need to look it up which one it is.
Cautious engineering, maybe like a reroll?
Well, yes, studious, testing a theory, dauntless, and nerve pinch, but I don't think any of those
I thought
apply.
one of it. I thought
I
one
think you're thinking of testing a theory, but that's for like it's
Extended
not for
tasks?
yeah, it's more for like an extended task than for repairing the power.
Oh, okay.
can we spend momentum to gain more power?
We
That's what
can.
I'm looking up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gain 1 point of power right now, and then you gain 1 for each momentum spent.
Probably spend 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Drain that 4 momentum,
Let's do it.
and that puts us up to
So you gain
8
5.
power.
Yeah, you gain 5, and I got you a 2 momentum still.
Great.
Okay, who still has to go this turn?
Pend has to go, and it was this turn I created the advantage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because you went
I'll-
first.
Yeah, I went first. Tactical went.
I'll
Ops just
shut
went.
up and-
Yes, just Pend.
Okay.
I'll shut up and let Varro do the talking because I'm trying not to backseat command. It's really hard.
You're not here.
Just this voice of Harmon speaking in my ear.
It's
I'm
really
going,
hard
shut up.
because I
I've
know
been
all
in
the
Starfleet longer than you've been alive.
I've known the rules longer than you.
All right, so whose turn was it? It was Lieutenant Penn's,
Penn.
right?
Yeah.
Colin, this task is up to you.
I mean, I can't fire phases or anything, can I?
No.
You technically can,
Well,
but it's going to have an
It would be
increased
difficulty 3.
Oh, I do have a 15 altogether for the roll. How bad? How bad would it be if I use ramming speed?
I mean, they are.
If you do that, you're in the brig, Lieutenant.
Well, actually, that's actually not the worst idea I've heard because they're just tiny little crystalline fighters.
They're still the size of shuttles.
In my defense, they've been ramming into us as well on the previous session. So,
Am I going to regret leaving this up to you?
you've already said it's up to me now.
Yeah. I'm asking if I'm going to regret that.
Oh God, yes.
I love this crew.
Oh, well, I do ramming speed, but it only takes out one target.
Oh, yeah. So should probably Well, no, I'm not gonna say it. Nope.
Well, you could take out that one, and then like the next round, phasers could dispatch the other one.
Yeah, but just remember the damage you do to that ship also does it to you.
Right.
Yeah. So the way that I see it, there's no point of doing an attack pattern or an evasive action because it's only the two fighters and they can't really do much damage to us.
Well, then the attack pattern might be good because then we essentially have guaranteed hits.
Yeah. All right. Don't
Or ramming speed and make us blow ourselves up, you know.
don't tempt me.
This is Varro not paying attention to his con officer, essentially, for a second.
You can just see the strain on his face. Don't crush. Don't crush. Don't do it.
What are we doing?
So I'll do attack pattern. Would you like me to spend a momentum to try and gain more back?
Do we even have a momentum?
We have two.
We have two right now.
Yeah, two.
Oh, okay.
So I'll spend one to
Yeah.
roll 3. And it is assisted by the ship's weapon plus con, difficulty 2. Fuck. Hey.
Ooh. What's the ship roll?
It is
Weapons con.
Weapons con, yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Okay. Two
Let's see
momentum.
what the GM does with that complication.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna bank it.
I can do evasive action. Each time I've done the attack pattern, complications arise.
Oh, don't forget. Untap potential if you want it.
What in this situation? Oh yeah,
If you want.
I could. I might as well use it because I did buy it to spend a.
Remember, though, if you fail,
Well, no, we're talking about he just rolls a challenge die. Oh, okay. We get another momentum.
It's on an effect.
No. The way it works is you get momentum equal to what you roll on the challenge die. The GM gets threat if you roll an effect.
Yeah.
Let me double check that. I could have swore it was you only get on. Let me just double check. I could be wrong.
So it's like
That was-
if you get an effect, you still get a momentum, but the GM also gets a threat.
God, I watched
I remember that
ramming
part. I
speed.
thought it was switched for some reason.
So what was the
Rules
difficulty of that
lowering.
task?
We try not to do it.
The
Oh, it's
difficult-
and okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
you would get one.
difficulty was 2, and it was 1 power cost.
All right. So how much momentum you guys at? 4, 3, or
We
4?
banked 2, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3
we
now.
banked 2. We had 1.
3. We bank 3 because Pend rolled a untapped potential.
Okay, and the evasive or the attack pattern was difficulty 1 then.
Difficulty 2, so we're at 3 total.
Okay, that's what I was asking. So yeah,
Nice.
okay, cool. Cool. So that was everybody, right?
That was everybody.
Okay, so we'll go to one of the fighters. And it'll pass back to you.
That's
See,
what I.
now they start missing.
Yeah, but they're
What's with
fighters.
that?
They've always missed.
Right, but
They-
they've been
because the
hitting
big
glancing
ass-
blows before.
They are the
The big ass- the big
stormtroopers
hell-
of Star Trek.
Now that the big asshole's done, they're just like, well, fuck.
Well, fuck.
Their morale has gone down considerably.
It's like,
Ensign,
guys,
clear up these fighters.
Guys, have we fucked up today? We did. Our boss died. Emperor's dead. Wait, really? Yeah, let's go after him. No, the Emperor's dead. We lost the war. Really? Yeah. Oh.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
That's too much, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's actually 3 because the attack pattern.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Reduce
We're up
difficulty.
I think that's just a flesh wound.
So
We need the ship and the phaser damage.
okay.
I still need the ship's roll.
Oh.
Weapons security.
Security.
That we didn't see.
Okay.
Right, but it doesn't matter. You guys can use the bonus momentum, but one of the fighters has been destroyed.
All right.
So you could technically use the 2 extra for a swift task to shoot at the other one too.
That's what we're gonna do.
All right.
Difficulty 2.
So I'd spend a. Oh, never mind.
Need ship and I need damage.
Come on.
Ship.
Up to full.
Okay. For once, we're actually gonna have to spend some of this.
Yeah, reroll.
Okay. How many?
All the ones that missed.
Well, no, I'm thinking about how many that is. That's 7. No.
Right.
No.
That's
So you add in the challenge dice plus your ship's security, and that's how many dice you would roll.
Yeah. So I have to re-roll 6.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Works.
much better.
And
those all hit.
Yep. So the other one is dead.
All right.
Skies are clear, Commander.
And this is
Bob,
my
start
first
getting me
day
sensor
on
scans of
this.
the surrounding space. We need to find out where that planet went.
Roger that.
All right. So my 3 little ships definitely pushed you guys, so that's good.
Yeah,
Well, hold on. Only 2 of them are little.
All right. Let me
that's
see.
true. One of them was our size.
Right, sensor sweep, so that's reason plus science. Okay.
Yeah, we basically fought a crystal engine.
In all fairness, the Imogen kind of sucks at combat.
Hey, GM,
Yes.
what does testing a theory come into effect?
So
When does that come into effect, though? That's what I'm curious about.
like if you're doing like extended task or like something that has like more than one task associated with it, that's when you would test the theory.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's for like research.
Yeah, and I think you have to like succeed at a previous task or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing associated with it.
Yeah, it's something that you're probably not going to encounter in this mission, but could certainly encounter in another one.
well, hopefully they
It'll
ship-
be more of like a science exploration type talent that'll come in really handy at those points. Combat, not so much.
Hopefully the ship can help, because if not, we're fucked.
Well, now
was
you
that
have
roll for?
time to get yourselves back into fighting shape.
Right.
So we took 2.
Oh, that was the roll to scan the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are initial scans are showing no sign of the
Just-
planet.
We still have to do ship roll, or does it just not? All right, it doesn't matter. It's 2 zeros.
Yeah.
So we took 2 breaches to the engines.
Yeah, but they go away at the end of the.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
They're just like injuries, like you. So your teams are there trying to repair them right now.
Yeah, so Varo's just Lieutenant Vada, get on those breaches if you could.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it possible for me on con to scan like where the planet may have gone to?
Try and detect like some sort of subspace disturbance trail or something.
Yeah, because I've got a focus of astral navigation, so can I see if I can guess where the planet may have moved to as a ship? Well, not as a ship, but
You could try. Yeah, you could try.
I'm guessing that would be science and reason or insight.
Yeah, I'll probably let you use your con as well,
Oh, thank God.
because you're trying to guess things moving through space. So I could
Well, don't
probably let you do
forget,
that.
we also have all the momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you
Feel
like,
free to spend momentum, Pen.
how much would you like me to spend?
I did not give you a difficulty, but this one is 0.
Oh,
Difficulty 0.
Oh, then don't spend momentum.
I was gonna say, don't spend any.
I mean, as it stands,
For all
I'm
you
rolling
know.
a 12, so maybe spend 1 for an
Well,
extra
it's-
dice.
Well, it's
Actually, no. You know what? You don't even have to roll.
But I want to.
Never mind. Good.
With
Good
the
shit.
2 bonus, can that create an advantage for maybe a bit more information?
We can use those to spend information, or for
Yeah, to get
gain
info.
information to spend.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay,
what I
so
meant.
let me tell you the outcome. As of right now, you find no trace of the planet, but you do have 3 over.
So
Right. So let's figure out what we can spend those on.
maybe you could spend them to create an advantage that you don't know where it is, but you know what direction it went off in.
Or we know how it's moving.
Ooh.
Like
Yeah, because
the way that this planet is moving.
Or just in which you could probably reason that out based on the propulsion systems that you get from the scans of the crystalline ships.
yeah, because the
Either
way
that or some sort of residue in the like general area. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's spend those 2 for an advantage where we can deduce how the planet is moving.
oh yeah, because that's the way I was thinking about it. Like with astral navigation, if I think of the planet as a ship, how it would move or where it would go.
Clever. I like that. That's clever.
Obviously, it isn't a ship, but it's moved, so something's helped somehow.
Something's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
We're spending those 2 momentum to create an advantage whereby we can understand how this planet is moving, what the methodology is of its movement.
Shall I say wouldn't have been assisted by the ship in some way, or is that just a me thing?
It's just gaining an advantage, and
Yeah.
I gave the commander the advantage.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of leaning over Penn's console a little bit as he's working on this. There's some energy fluctuations around here. Somehow there's nothing much there. Can we spend that last one for determining what type of energy?
So basically, the next thing is go. I'll let you use the last one, and let me give you the next part of this.
This one might go to Penn.
Yeah, Commander, it seems like I don't know how we should view this planet, but it definitely doesn't seem
Well,
normal.
actually, Commander, I'm sending this to you because you were actually the closest in talking about it to almost getting it without needing an advantage. That's why
Okay.
this is going to you.
All right.
Well, it's me telling you.
But like for me, this is like him working off of like all the scans, all the stuff he's been seeing,
Right.
and starting to piece it together.
Yeah, this is him doing the Kirk bullshit where he like figures out exactly what's going on based on minimal information.
Or
Well-
this is
well,
all
to
of the
be-
people giving
it-
me their reports on what they find, and I'm compiling it.
I mean, to be honest, nothing that I've told him is stuff that has not come up. If you guys are paying attention,
Oh, well, that's good.
because I like to write missions like that to kind of have you guys instead of using
Okay,
the guns
so
and stuff. The only part that's really new is the last part.
right. Okay, I'm going to move over to the ops station and talk to the lieutenant commander. Say, okay, we're reading some energy fluctuations from the crystals. We need to find a way to adjust our sensors to pick up those frequencies more easily.
Let me think.
And this is a perfect point to roll. There is a task role involved in it, but like this is a good time to role play, especially with some of that technobabble stuff.
Using multimodal reflection sorting.
Oh, not
Shush,
here.
you're not here. All right. See, Lieutenant Commander, if you look here, the energy fluctuations from the crystals are somewhat like unrefined dilithium. If we use the mining algorithms that are somewhere in the Kismet's computers, we might be able to get more of a read on them.
So you want me to try to look for the algorithm for the mining information on the Kismet information on unrefined dilithium.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Technobabble.
And I am finally here. My goodness.
Oh, great.
GM,
So let's catch him up on what's going on.
We just exited combat.
Yeah.
Shit got real for a while.
Yeah.
We
Oh yeah.
almost
Do our
died.
shields go back up after?
At the end of the scene.
Hey,
Okay.
So like you're still damaged. Your shields are still down. At the end of the scene, everything is repaired except for the damage stuff.
Actually,
But you have
this
nothing
here,
damaged.
this here would actually be the perfect opportunity to introduce the
Yeah.
Ensign Liarca, just as a damage report introduction.
Okay.
Or call them to the bridge to help with these energy readings.
hey,
Depending.
okay. How do you pronounce your name? Liarca?
Lyrica.
Okay.
It's a play on names. If you read his actual full name, it's supposed to be Lyrica knows all. The liar who knows all.
Ensign Liarca, can you come up to the bridge with damage report, please?
And you see Varro just kind of sigh.
Hey, out of character, Edward, I got a quick question. Ed,
Sure.
whatever. So I've got a focus on computers. One of my focuses is on computers. So, could I roll anything for that to look up information, like for the algorithm and everything like
Do
that?
I literally have a thing that says this is what is damaged, or do I need to do a skill check?
I mean, you do, but it's irrelevant at this point. Like, it's a couple breaches to the engines. The weapons were hit. The teams are working on it. It should be fixed within the hour. That's pretty much it. So in response to the other question, so to look up this computer thing, it's already there. You don't really need to roll anything. And you guys are kind of heading away from, I think, what you guys should be doing. Like you did the wrong technobabble, if that's possible.
Your technobabble's wrong.
So basically, what you guys want to do is you want to find a way to adjust the sensors to detect the energy fluctuations from the crystals.
Right. I was trying to come up with a good technobabble thing, and I think I failed on that.
Bounce a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish.
You got a better idea.
So I'm trying to think. When the ships were here, they gave off a certain signal, right? Like a certain wavelength or certain frequency that they would be giving off.
So I don't know if the new guys got the reports from the other game, but the crystals, like all the crystals that you guys encountered up to this point have had some type of energy fluctuation in them.
Right.
And Commander Varro thinks that you might be able to adjust the sensors in order to detect those energy fluctuations, or possibly a trail of those energy fluctuations.
Mm-hmm. And I was trying to play that off as, hey, these energy fluctuations are something like what I've seen before. If we adjust the sensors this way, we might be able to detect them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so who's standing next to me right now, by the way?
I am Commander Varro.
Okay, Commander, I could switch our adjust our sensors. Could see if they could pick up whatever the fuck you just said. I'm having a brain fart. God damn it.
Yep. Okay. Lieutenant Commander, see if you can find a better adjustment for the shields to scan those crystals. I've got another idea.
don't need to roll anything, or that's just kind of passive?
It depends what the commander's doing, but I do have a task roll to adjust the sensors, though.
Okay, well, I was gonna try to do what he said about the shield thing.
Oh, you're doing something about shields. Okay, never mind.
Ed, would it be possible if Pend and Tachibana came, maybe come up with something about the ships between us? Like one through tactical, one through me knowing ships. Maybe
Role play stuff out, guys. By all means, this is role play time.
Tachibana.
Says he's having audio problems right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Evans is.
Yeah, Evans
Yeah.
is having audio problems.
Okay.
We're trying to work that out.
So, after the lieutenant commander is finished with his sensors roll,
I'm not entirely okay. So what do you want me to roll for sensors then?
I'm still trying to get a feel for what everyone's doing.
Okay.
You said something about shields and not sensors.
I'm
That's
not
why.
entirely sure what the commander had in mind. He said something with the shield frequency or something. I'm not.
no sensor
entirely-
frequency.
Okay, the sensor.
I may have
frequency of the
misspoken.
shield. Okay, so the sensor frequency should be a sensor sweep, more or less.
Okay, so the task roll to adjust the sensors. It's going to be reason or insight using your science, engineering, or security difficulty 2.
Okay, so reason and I'll do reason engineering. And
Oh,
then
did you
that's-
account for the Did you account for the advanced sensor suite bringing down the difficulty?
This is not going to decrease the difficulty because you're not scanning; you're adjusting them.
All right.
I
No,
think
it
that makes
It
sense.
just says whenever a character performs a task assisted by the ship's sensors.
But he's not using the sensors; he's
Oh.
adjusting the sensors.
Oh, okay.
So I just click reason and engineering, and then task roll 2, right, and nothing
Yep.
else.
Yeah, and this will be difficulty 2, so it might be time to start thinking about
Yeah,
some momentum stuff.
Get him.
so spend a momentum here.
I'm not entirely sure how that works, but like I don't know how you like use momentum. That's what I'm saying.
So you could use momentum to buy more dice. So if you spend 1 momentum, you can roll 3 dice instead of 2.
Okay, I'll spend 1 momentum then.
And then on the
Right.
dice roller, you're gonna click task roll 3.
Okay. All right then. Okay, I can roll now. Reason engineering. Okay. Do you want me to roll now then? Or do you want to
Mhm.
finish? Okay.
Nice.
All right, so you make adjustments to the sensors, and initial sensors do show actually show up the energy crystals that have been destroyed from the previous battle are now showing up on the sensors, where before they were kind of hidden. So you do feel
Alright.
that the adjustment did work.
Adjustments
then-
working.
Once that happens, I'm going to go. Lieutenant Vada, see if you can beam aboard some of that debris and start an analysis on it.
Hi, Captain. Beaming over debris now. Just to let you know, we are working on damaged parts of the ship, so the analysis will have to wait.
That's fine, Lieutenant. Take your time.
Isn't Vata on the planet?
No.
No, Vada's in engineering. Oh,
was-
we gotta remember we used 1 crew support. Oh, I have a question. Does this what we're doing here, does this technically count as a new mission?
Yes.
So that means that we get to buff Tachibana, I think.
We do. You're
What the
right.
hell is that even? What is that? What is Tetrabon?
Okay,
That's
basically,
our support character who's at tactical right now.
yeah, basically,
Okay.
what happens is every ship has crew support, which basically means that, for instance, the Kismet has 5 crew support, which means that we can create 5 NPCs during any given mission to assist us. And every time we bring back an NPC that we've already created to be like a reoccurring character, we get to buff them and make them better. So it's basically Star Trek Adventure's way of giving us characters like Chief O'Brien.
Roger that.
So yeah, we should buff Tachibana here real quick.
Yeah. And the same
All right,
should happen
but I think it.
to,
Never mind.
You know, when it's applicable, when we've got a downtime for a moment.
Yeah,
Um,
this is probably we're probably just going to do it at the end and not during the game.
that's fine.
So we'll do it when we do reputation. We'll buff whoever was brought back in, because we have to because there's 4 options to choose from, and I don't want to take a timeout right now to do that.
Sounds good.
That's fine. Don't want to.
So okay, so we're back to the commander just issued the order 0. Yeah. And she responded back. So what's next for you guys?
I mean, I was gonna have a scene with Tachibana, but he's can't speak to me at the moment.
Damn it, Discord.
Damn it.
Alright. Lieutenant Commander, let's see what we can find with these adjusted sensors. Run your system scan again.
So just roll the same thing I just.
Okay, so this one's going to be reason or plus your science or security difficulty 3, assisted by the ship.
All right.
Sensors
So
and
reason
science.
and science, you said.
Whatever's highest, reason or insight plus science, probably.
Okay. All right.
And then
scan.
ship sensor science.
Yeah,
So difficulty goes down.
right.
Difficulty 2.
I love
Alright.
the advanced sensor suites.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
rolling. Just a sec.
We need to take them away from the engine, though. Nice roll. Wait, what's your focus here?
I don't think he gets a focus.
Oh, does
It's
he
just
not?
rolled with focus.
Whoops. So 2 successes. That, however, is a legitimate focus roll
Nice.
because the ship always gets. It keeps finding new. Oh no.
Okay, so you guys are technically at 7. And here is the first bit of information.
I'm sorry, Commander Varro. I cannot fire the phasers. Apparently, the weapon system needs an update.
Energy trails leading away from the area and can be traced for several light years. Commander.
Sorry, what I missed that.
Commander, a large energy trail is leading away from the area and can be traced for several light years.
All right. Plot a course along that route, Pend.
Yes, Cap.
Out of
Transmit
character.
those readings.
Ah!
I send that over to Khan then, so we can plot a course.
Can I talk now?
Cutting out for me really bad right now.
I mean, I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of character, were you actually serious about the phaser system on the ship needed an update?
No, I was. No, I was
It's like
making a
Adobe
joke about the
update.
fact that Evans is currently dealing with Discord updates.
Okay.
Although our weapons do need to be repaired.
Then I'm probably gonna start doing that.
All right, so like always with that scan, if you guys spend the momentum. If not,
We have the momentum to spend. I'd say we spend it now.
Yeah.
So additional information here. This is going to be an ops additional because he's going to get a bonus for that for due to position.
Okay, so what now?
We're asking for more information from what you just got.
Wait,
So
actually,
would
he gets that
would come up-
automatically.
Wouldn't that come up with Studious then?
As ops, he gets an automatic question anyway.
right, that's what he was saying.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm saying we should also probably spend an additional momentum on top of that to get more information.
You don't have to because he has Studious.
Doesn't Studious only come into play when you spend for it?
You see, the way that the operations thing works is it gives you a momentum that must be spent on the obtained information. So spending that momentum to gain more
Unlock
information
studios time.
trips
Okay.
the studious.
It says,
Okay.
whenever you spend one or more momentum to obtain information, you may ask one additional question total.
Yeah.
That's what, okay.
It's a really slick combo.
Okay. Yeah, let's get those 2 questions, and then we might have more questions.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay.
So what do I do
So-
now? I'm so confused.
So the sensor information that you just got isn't
Um.
everything that we could get. So we're spending the resources that you have to get more information than what we got.
All right. So do I just roll exactly what I just did?
No, this is
No.
just asking more questions about what I've given you, and this could be for anybody. So the reason I sent it to you is to allow you to role play what I just said.
Okay.
But then everybody has a chance. It's a chance to use momentum to ask me more questions. I have the right to veto a question if it's irrelevant.
Okay. Well, go for it. All right, guys. I have additional information available if you guys need. Ask a question.
You don't need to role play that.
I don't
Just-
know. There.
No, the way basically the way this works is we're spending momentum for you to figure out more information.
Okay. Okay.
Essentially, like
Trying to find out more shit.
jumping on top of the success and carrying it forward.
Gotcha.
Right.
So one possible question here is this a straight course? Is it something that we can plot out a destination from? Like see what's along that course? Or what do people think about that?
It was already answered in the initial one.
All
Plus,
right.
in all fairness, if it's about plotting a course, that is a specifically con task.
Ooh, I got it. Speed.
Huh.
How fast
Okay.
was it going?
Yeah. That's a little bit outside, but maybe we could. Yeah, let's see if we can ask that.
You can ask it, but you might not like the answer.
You might not like the answer.
Warp 10.
Warp Infinity. Come on now.
That is
Well-
Warp 10.
Well, what's the answer you won't like? One that doesn't reveal new information. That's what that question would give you.
Right.
Oh.
Perhaps if there's any more signals along with it.
See, that's a good question.
It's alone or does it have company?
Yeah, so let's ask that question.
More information has come up. Several small energy trails lead away from the area.
All
And I
right.
should end that with in all directions,
In all directions.
or like in multiple directions. So
Okay,
not
let me-
just
okay, let me
so
reword
not
that.
just following the.
Let me reword that then. Okay, several small energy trails are leading in multi-directional areas.
Interesting. We may be looking at more of these ships that the planet seems to be producing.
Or it could be a diversion. They could try to be
Also
diverting
possible.
our attention away from where the planet is. Give
All
us
right,
some
so that was
information.
one of the free questions. I believe you
Right.
had one more.
We have one
there's
more free question.
Yes.
Okay, so
You could go along with the idea of does the scans show away through the interference around these crystal structures?
Would
oh
we
yeah, I
be
forgot about the
able-
interference.
So what you guys adjusted for was the interference, so
Was
that you
the
can actually
interference,
so that you can actually track this thing.
would we
And
be
the initial scan showed a large energy trail leading away from the area, and you could trace
So-
it for several light years. So if you guys put it together, it's a good bet that this.
Right.
Would
Mm.
I have a out of character question. Would you be able to track the lifetimes of the captain and the crew? Because wouldn't the ship have some log of what their lifetimes would be? Or the computer system would have some residual lifetime information.
We
that
can,
you
but that's
could
more of a
track?
close range thing.
Yeah.
Like we
Alright.
could track them if we were within sensor range of the planet.
And I mean,
Possibly.
even when we were at the planet, sensor readings on the planet were like sporadic.
That
Right,
casting
but
glitch.
now we've adjusted for that.
So, but like this is something that you probably from the first mission because you didn't get to play it.
Right.
So it's a good thought, but irrelevant in this situation because of the mission parameters.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
because
there
it's
any-
information that you weren't privy to.
Is there any other activity that's showing up that's new due to the sensor adjustments?
Is there any other anomalous activity around? Is that what you're kind of going for?
Yeah, like
That's too vague to allow.
okay.
Can we tell where the crystalline structure or planet came from?
Oh yeah, because we didn't have any indication that it had moved. We didn't have any indication that it had been moving at all. But now that we have this, we might be able to figure out where it came from.
I like it.
Might give us some information about what to expect, or we can possibly
What we-
backtrack.
what we might be dealing with.
Mhm.
All right, so is that your question?
Sure, let's go with that.
Please say they're from outside of our galaxy.
They
That'd be
popped
cool.
into this dimension spontaneously.
The large energy fluctuation seems to have started from this location, Commander.
So they popped into this dimension. All right.
That's
Can anybody think of any additional momentum spins we want to make here? So I'm coming up dry. Out of character.
Yeah, I can't think of
You
anything.
do have one more that's going to be lost if you don't use it.
Wait, we have another free one?
Like you got one above 6 that will go away
right,
after
we did.
this immediate action.
So yeah, we need to ask one more question.
All right, the first scan showed the large energy trail leading away. It had multi-directional plots. And then the small energy trails leading away. Okay. Okay, fuck. Okay. The large energy trail was what we think is the planet. The there's multiple small energy trails leading all around. And there's the large energy fluctuation seems to have indicated from this location.
I mean, I've got one possible one. It's the one I was going to try and do with Evans's character, but I don't know whether it'll be applicable with these scans.
Yeah, well, shoot.
Initially, I was going to ask if we could, between the two of us, like through tactical and through my knowledge of starships, to maybe come up with a weakness or better plan to deal with them. But I could still apply that with like ops and the scan if they've found anything out about the crystalline structures to help us deal with them. But again, that's a bit of an iffy one at best.
It seems tangential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's one. Again, might be too vague, but does this energy seem similar or match energy types that are in our database? Like, because right now we have a very vague term of energy.
So
Right. It does. So it does not match anything on record.
Okay. And it's not significantly similar to something on record either.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it matches what you guys were able to scan of the particular ones. So, but it doesn't match anything else.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was my question essentially.
'Cause, yeah, I think the other crew were thinking the crystalline entity, and I had to be like, no, not it. That's
I was
not
thinking
it.
something completely different, but yeah. Okay. So not something that seems familiar.
Right. So far, the computer, the databases, even the initial studies are coming up with blanks. They can't make head or tail of the energy, what it's used for, how it's used. None of that is coming up.
Does that include running against bioenergies in the database?
Yeah, it's still not coming up with matches.
Okay. Cool. I think that is a significant enough answer for the last momentum, I think. Even if it's negative, it's important information.
All right, so you guys have, I guess, a bearing now.
Yeah. All right. So I contact engineering, and I say, is the sample beamed to board?
It is, Commander.
Good. Let me know when we're good to depart.
I may have a question, but I mean this might just be off kilter. Did any of the ships leave any residual energy on our ship? Like, did they have any adverse effect on any of our systems?
No.
Other than combat? No. Okay.
No, no.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the engineers are repairing the ship, and then we're going over to Penn, saying, "Okay, Lieutenant, we're going to be following this energy trail here. See where it leads."
Yes, Commander.
Oh, and ops, relay this sensor data to the nearest Starfleet beacon.
And the Klingons.
Understood? And the Klingons, yeah.
So do I do a
Good thinking, Lieutenant.
relay to Klingons and a Starfleet beacon?
You just got to say you did it. Like, you don't need to roll
Yeah.
anything.
Not yet, so I'm just saying I did.
Okay, cool. Is Evans back on? Is he working?
Doesn't appear to be.
He's back on, but he's not connected to the chat.
All right, so is there any more orders that you need to give out, Commander, or are we good to jump forward?
Speak of the devil.
Hey,
Okay,
speak of the
I'm
devil.
back. I'm back.
Yay!
Huzzah!
I was worried
So
about
quickly
this.
update him on what happened.
We found an energy trail that we're currently following.
All right.
Engineers are currently fixing damage on the ship, and yeah.
Okay, yeah. Before
We
I
spent a
before
long
I-
time deliberating over questions.
we
Okay, so
did.
right before I left, I was about to ask about like subspace because I know like the planet was anchoring itself via subspace.
Okay.
It was not subspace. It was being anchored somehow.
Oh, okay, I thought it was anchored in
But it's a good
subspace.
guess. It was a good guess.
Okay, I guess I misremembered something you said last session because I thought you said something about anchoring in subspace, but I guess I was wrong.
It was anchored in place, and you weren't sure how.
Okay,
It was somehow anchored in place, some subspace.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so trying to get back on roll 20.
Okay, so are you guys? So what's the ship doing? Contacted Starfleet. You told the Klingons.
And now we are following the trail.
Okay, we will go ahead end the scene, so you guys can go ahead and repair your ship up. Drop your momentum to 5, and we'll go ahead and jump back to the planet side, people. And so this scene starts with the away team thrown into a small crystal room of about 5 by 5 meters. And as you guys are thrown in there, the walls are enclosed on all sides, and there are no exits, no windows, nothing but the crystal. You know, the bright, glowing, colorful crystal.
Are they like crystal bars?
No, just like crystal walls, like smooth crystal walls that you can't see through. There's no bars, there's no windows, there's no exits. It's just the room.
So maybe after like 30 seconds in there, Harmon just goes, "Oh, nobody knows the trouble I've
I'll
seen."
be back in a little bit. I'm gonna make me something to eat.
Okay.
The timing there.
Wittergas is banging his head against the wall. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Well, this has been one hell of a first contact mission. Didn't expect that my first contact would go exactly like this, but it's not
Oh, you
about
mean the genocide?
this.
Or the mass murder of the little crystal people?
I wouldn't put it exactly like that.
Remember, you
Sounds
don't
like a
know
lot
what the
of that.
Kismet did.
Yeah, we don't know that the Kismet blew a bunch of them to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, but we don't know that. We just know that we accidentally killed a lot of them earlier.
Yeah. Honestly, I just don't know. I assume they're listening to us.
Well, I do think the walls literally have ears.
But here's the real question. Why keep us?
That is
Why
an
not
odd
just
choice, now
kill
that
us
you
and
mention
get
it.
it over with?
Could they? No. I mean, unless they're seeking the moral high ground, which I don't think they are.
Perhaps.
What was the question?
Why keep
This
us?
is just for the people on the planet. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe they're gonna put us on trial? They did ask whether or
Suppose
not
it's
we had
possible.
anything. They did
I
ask
can't
whether or
think
not
of
we
anything
had
better.
anything to say in our defense.
I mean, Captain, it could be a case of they're just waiting to get the procedure ready.
Where did that voice come from?
Oh, I
Wittergas.
forgot.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Wittergast is there. So is
Oh,
Cecile,
okay.
by the way.
Yeah, so is Cecile.
I'll step in for her again.
It might just take some time to get things ready.
I don't know. These crystalline beings seem to have a lot of power at their disposal. And they seem to be putting a lot of it towards dealing with us. We really seem to upset their little self-contained ecosystem.
Cecile is sitting in the corner, breathing rapidly, and her ears are twitching.
She's what?
She's sitting in the corner, breathing rapidly, and her ears are twitching around.
Don't say that, you'll get him excited.
He's on a starship.
I don't care. I astrally project and backhand him. Anywho. And I'm gonna say that Harmon doesn't actually say anything to Cecile because he actually hasn't noticed that she's like rapidly breathing and twitching yet. He's just like pacing back and forth trying to work it out in his head. I just don't know. There are too many variables.
I think I'll have.
Through the walls, in a soft, childlike voice, you hear "Hello."
Cecile's head snaps in that direction.
And Harmon just slowly turns and goes, "Okay.
Who are you?
We're lost."
Where do you come from?
We come from far away, from somewhere beyond your world.
Is that why you look so different?
Yes. Yes, it is. Who are you?
Are you here to hurt us?
No, that wasn't what we intended. We're explorers.
And in a loud, booming voice, much like the one that you were heard in the cavern, away, little one! And the room goes quiet.
Oh, damn it.
Smooth.
Well, that does tell us one thing. It tells us that these species don't speak with a unified voice, that they don't share the same thoughts. To be honest, collective, I would much prefer to not deal with a collective consciousness today. But crystalline life forms are way outside my area of expertise. Cecile, what do you think? Cecile, are you okay?
There's no response. She just keeps looking around, ears are twitching. She's kind of almost in a ball right now.
Oh, jeez. Is anyone standing around her?
I don't think I'd be that close.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wettergast is probably tapping on the walls looking for a structural weakness.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like do what I can to motion like the others to just give her as much space as possible.
It seems to help a little bit, but she keeps just looking around at all the walls and the ceiling and the floor.
Boy.
So, Captain, you had mentioned that they're not hive mind, but we've also just learned that we're not being constantly watched under scrutiny.
Right.
Because it didn't appear they knew about the younger voice for some time.
Perhaps. And Harmon walks over to one of the walls and taps it with like the tip of his finger and goes, maybe they're a consciousness that can travel through crystal. They don't inhabit any one particular piece of crystal at a time. They can move.
We never chipped off any crystal, did we?
No, we didn't.
Okay, good. Then how did we harm any of them?
Let's see.
How gentle was our landing, first of all?
The discharge.
When was this?
Remember, we encountered a static shock on one of the walls. We discharged some energy.
Oh, that didn't come from the wall.
No,
that came from us?
We touched a wall and it discharged through us.
Right.
So, if these crystalline beings are made of energy and exist within the crystals as a conduit, when the energy was discharged through us, we essentially killed it.
Oh.
We discharged the being's consciousness. So it's not the crystals that are alive. It's the energy. It's the energy that has consciousness
But they can also move the crystals.
as a medium.
Right. So they said we killed and injured. So when what was it that we did to see if the crystal would react to it and it like moved away from whatever we were emitting? What was that again? I forget.
Let's turn on the scan.
So I didn't quite catch that.
Not
The
to mention-
tricorder.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
Oh, they
tricorder.
backed away from the tricorder reading. Okay.
Yeah. Then,
That could be it.
not to mention, I'm sure landing our shuttle down didn't help.
You know, like I said, I can't quite remember how rough the landing was.
It
so
wasn't
that-
rough. I don't think. I think we managed.
But
I think we
still.
touched down without issue, but we may have discharged some when we touched down as well. Well, that's a couple of questions answered. Unfortunately, that doesn't make it look any better for us.
Your entire presence is just killing them.
is there anything about this room that looks different than the rest of what we've seen on this planet?
No, it looks to be the same crystal line that you guys were, the same crystal type formations that you guys were encountering before. All that color, all kind of merged together. But this one, is smooth like a wall.
Okay, so this is totally smooth as opposed to being kind of jagged.
Right. It looks like this was made specifically to put you in.
Hmm. See.
So because it looks different than everything else, I'm wondering perhaps your discharge theory is correct, because if they've altered the crystal in this room in some way, it could be to prevent that from happening again.
Perhaps their movement through the crystals is how they shape it.
Potentially.
Captain,
Yes.
they mentioned something about a birthing ground.
Birthing ground.
Perhaps we disrupted something important to their survival in the area where the new crystal was formed.
You kill children.
Great. Just
Yay!
Good job,
great,
guys.
Great, that's how I want to be remembered. And then Harmon notices Cecile again. Is she standing up, or is she like curled in a ball on the floor?
She's starting to come out of it a little bit. She's still sitting down.
Okay. Harmon's gonna go and sit next to her and just go, "Gonna be okay?"
Yes, Captain.
Okay, look. We're going to get out of this. I don't know how yet. We're gonna
Yes.
get out of this.
This space is very much too small.
And I'm going to kick your ass. Look, we managed to figure out some of the answers just based on observation, but we're gonna need every pair of eyes we can if we're gonna figure everything out and hopefully convince the rest of them that we're not a threat.
Captain, it's quite possible we are a threat. Even if it was unintentional.
Maybe.
Question is, will our actions speak louder than our words?
And I think with that line is a good point to head back to the ship.
I cannot keep his accent straight for the life of me.
It's okay.
Oh,
All right, so this will officially start the next scene. So you guys go down to 4 momentum.
Don't worry.
And-
This is one of those things that will always show up in a Star Trek series as one of like those inconsistencies that are constantly reported on like in like the production books.
Yeah.
As like the first few episodes, the accent was inconsistent because the actor and director couldn't agree on exactly what they wanted the accent to sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were considering making Pulp Fiction Star Trek style.
Right.
Also, all these inconsistencies, that's just Cajun speak.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump to the ship here. So you guys follow the trail, and long-range sensors have located the crystal planet, and it is moving at low warp.
Excuse me, out of character. The planet is at warp.
Yes.
How big is this planet?
Planet size.
Is it M class? Is it like a gas giant? Is it Earth size? Is it a fucking asteroid or a moon?
I think it's M class, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my
It has
god.
it's an M-class atmosphere. It is made up entirely of crystal from your initial scans. There's reasons for this. Just go with it.
So we're chasing Jupiter. Wonderful.
Well, it had M-class gravity, and it's made mostly of crystal, so it's probably slightly smaller than, like Earth.
Yeah, because it's probably more dense.
Right. But, it's still a big planet traveling at warp.
That
Even if
is
it's not-
true.
Like it's probably traveling at maybe like warp 3 or 4.
Right. Something low.
I'm
Yeah.
almost wishing to write a paper on this now if my character ever gets out of this.
And
Sorry.
as soon as that's reported, I say, repeat that, Ops? At warp?
I believe even Ops is slightly confused. Yes, he said warp.
Oh, I forgot he was getting food. I don't know if he came yet.
Oh,
Wait, is Liarka on the bridge?
He could be.
I
I
am
haven't
in
ordered
engineering,
him.
but I can come up to the bridge and say that the chief engineer had to go to sickbay.
Or well, no, or just that the chief engineer has everything handled. Because the job that you're assuming is actually bridge liaison to engineering.
Okay. And
Also,
I-
like, away team.
So you're like the chief engineer, Vada. Basically, you're Vada's assistant, and you represent her on the bridge.
very well, I guess I'm on the bridge then. And I am going to get into my accent as soon as I get rid of this racist Asian one.
Gotta be a Ferengi.
Now, you said it is going warp speed?
Hanson, any idea how that's possible?
Unless you have a giant reactor the size of our ship 10 times bigger, I don't know. It's,
I like the voice. It's a good voice.
I mean, it is theoretically possible, but consider this. If I was to build a warp core 10 times its size, not only will I need so much fuel for it, energy-wise, which I believe they may have, but it could be so unstable that it could just blow up any minute.
Maybe
Alright.
it's the actual planet's core, which is the engine slash life force.
That could be. You know, could I make a reasoning check real quick to give any other theory?
I mean, by all means, roleplay whatever you think. I mean, the theory is in your roleplay.
I'm going to just do a quick roll on theory because I got to learn it anyway, real quick. And
Are we about to use the hypothesis system?
Ooh.
Hello there.
well, I have warp field dynamics.
'Cause I love the hypothesis
As a focus.
system.
Okay.
Yeah. So how does this work?
Wait, are we going to do the hypothesis system?
I don't even know what the hypothesis system is.
Right. So you need a hypothesis before you can make your roll.
Can you give me a minute to pull it up?
Okay.
Because it's something that I think is actually very applicable to this situation.
Yeah, it is. Like I've seen that. That's.
I think
We want to figure out how this planet's traveling.
Oh, God damn it! Sometimes this book is.
I think it's like you get as many hypotheses as you want, but each one raises the difficulty or something like that.
Hang on. Rules. Home of the Stars.
It's even like somebody's.
And tell me the page.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's around here somewhere.
Well, you've already heard what mine is. It's the planet's core is the energy source.
Right, but we don't know. We need the hypothesis system to learn if that might be correct or not.
First roll I'm doing, I already broke the system.
Great.
This is just something we haven't done yet.
Encounters.
Well,
Still
while he
don't
looks for that, I think I'm gonna build my hypothesis on.
got it.
Sorry.
I've got it.
Okay.
Page.
Observe. When a scientist is presented with an observation that they understand or an event that is occurring that is not well understood, they must begin to ask questions. Initial observations by the characters will be able to determine what discipline the observations fit into: engineering, science, or medicine. Any character with disciplines.
What page, please?
157. The final frontier, scientific discoveries and developments.
I got it.
Yep, turning to that page.
Once this category is determined, a character with a high skill level in that discipline becomes the research lead. This character takes lead in further steps and makes any die rolls needed. Now here's the hypothesized thing. At this stage, players are encouraged to throw out ideas on what might be happening while trying to fit them into the focuses for the category of the problem. The research lead then chooses between 3 and 5 of these ideas to use. These are called hypotheses, and the research lead may or may not have the skill focus. But they then explain these ideas to the game master. If the game master sees a hypothesis that fits the actual solution to the problem, they can regard that as the right way. They do not inform the players which hypothesis is correct. If none of the hypotheses presented fit the actual problem at all, the game master immediately gains a threat and can tell the players to go back to the drawing board and repeat the process.
Okay.
So basically what you get to do is you choose someone who will be the research lead on this.
Well, I do have Warfield Dynamics and Reason of 11.
Yeah, it's
And
probably going to be the engineer that would probably be the lead.
Plus, I do have Warfield Dynamics and. Well, I don't think politics works here. I don't think I could politicize crystals.
No.
Most likely not.
You can attempt
But
it.
yeah, no. I'd say Warfield Dynamics probably fits great.
I'm going to use Warfield Dynamics. Who was the one that said the planet's core? Who said that?
Pen.
That was penned, I believe.
Who?
The con officer.
Yeah.
J.G. Braglove. Okay. I'm going to make a hypothesis. I'm going to get back to my voice. It may take me a moment. As you can see, I think I may have an idea of how this is working.
Well, we come up with 3 to 5
He's
explanations.
trying to think.
good.
He's trying to do it in character. Just let him go.
Shut up, Captain. You're not there.
I am not Data. I apologize for this immediately. I will now revert to normal voice.
Great.
The first theory I have is potentially what our con officer said. The core of the planet. Imagine that as a giant reactor, but instead of everything, all the energy focused around the planet is centered right in there and then is propelling it forward by their momentum, either by a crystalline technology we don't know or potentially their own energy. Now imagine that. Another theory is that their atmosphere is so ionized by their own energy, it could be pushing the atmosphere almost to the point where it's going to a ridiculous warp speed. There's not many other theories I could think of. but one of them that does come to mind. Has anyone ever climbed a mountain before?
Touchy Bob kind of looks like to his left, to his right.
No one's ever climbed a mountain before.
No, I fly ships. Why would I
Yes,
climb a
Ensign,
mountain?
I've climbed a mountain. Your point?
You know, as you get higher up a mountain, the air constricts, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine that. And then when you get back down, you have an expansion of air. What if the molecules and the energy, they're constantly doing that for momentum, making like small bursts. And then imagine it in when you break an air bottle. You hit it and it goes off. Now imagine that with 100,000 times the amount of force with the energy all inside it, and then you pop it. And you keep popping it every 2 seconds or less.
So
Elaborate.
essentially, they're creating shockwaves in the atmosphere?
Exactly. Imagine a shockwave so powerful that it propels you almost past light speed with their own energy. They are the air bottle. They propel themselves.
Well, I certainly
Fascinating
hope the
hypothesis.
captain isn't on the surface if that's the case.
He may not be affected. Again, it's in the atmosphere. And it may only happen in a certain area. Maybe in the core, maybe it's trying to do it. They siphon it in, they push it out. But more than likely, it could be in the stratosphere or anywhere up top. But that's all I have for right now. I really can't think of anything else that could do this unless they have a giant reactor in the middle of the core. But it must be made of crystal because that's all we're seeing is crystals.
All right, Ensign. Let's get to work on seeing if we can determine which of these theories, if any, may be true. Coordinate with ops. Let's look at the sensors.
Yes, sir. Is this engineering or science?
Wait, so what happens now, though, is that now that we've thrown out our hypotheses, the GM has to tell us whether or not one of them is correct.
And they are not.
So the GM gets a threat, and we have to go back to the drawing board.
Okay.
Are we able to catch up to the planet is my biggest question.
Yeah, it's traveling at low warp, so unless it increases speed, we'll be able to.
Doesn't it have an energy stream?
It has a bit of a wake.
Awake. You mean like,
Or a trail.
does it have a trail in front of it?
Not that we've detected.
Can we try that real quick, see if there is one?
There is not.
Okay.
This is a neat little mechanic if we like actually get it like right.
It is,
Right.
but it's very specific, and I don't know if we have enough time.
Okay, if we
Okay,
want to move
I
on. from
apologize. I have to go for a few minutes. Anyone can take control and make some ideas. I'll be right back. Be about 10 minutes.
we don't have to continue with this. It
Uh,
sounds like it might not even necessarily be that important.
Right, because it's very, very specific, and
The chances of us getting it are
right.
low.
Commander,
Right. I mean, yeah.
Did you and
Yes?
Ops say you cleared up the interference around when it comes to the planet?
We believe so.
Considering it's an energy signature, would it be possible to maybe hail the planet?
I think that's our best bet. We don't have the military ability to defeat this entire planet, and although their ships seem to be unwilling to respond to hails, the planet itself might be more capable.
So I'll get close enough for us to hail a planet.
Bring us within range.
And Lieutenant Penn brings you in range of in communications range of the planet. You're probably at again extreme range of the planet.
Right. Possibly farther. Alright, so Ops, send this message out on as many frequencies as we can. Obviously standard ones aren't working with this planet, so take your best guess at what these energy signatures might like to communicate on. This is
Not entirely sure what to. Did I roll something on that?
So you would essentially just reply with like something like hailing frequencies open. You would go ahead commit, something along those lines, saying that like you
Okay.
open the communications on all frequencies.
All right, Commander. I'm opening all frequencies for hailing.
This is Commander Kunal Varro of the Kismet. You have taken our people captive and assaulted our ship without provocation. We would like to know why and find a diplomatic solution to this problem. Anything? I represent the United Federation of Planets, a peaceful coalition of entities who seek to explore the galaxy and form diplomatic unions with new life and new civilizations. We mean you no harm. Close channel.
Closing channel.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Commander, I did send you something. Got no response to all of those.
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right, people, let's get some ideas. We know that
try-
planet has significant military power. We're not going to win on a straight up fight.
We could try to get close enough to the planet where we could potentially try to use the transporters on our ship and beam them up onto the ship.
Do you think we've compensated enough for the interference? This is more of a question for Ed, I think.
That'd be a good question for Ed.
What was the question?
If we've
If we've-
compensated for the interference enough to possibly transport up from the surface.
What do you think, Commander?
Well, we did an adjustment to our sensors, but I'm asking the Lieutenant Commander, but he wasn't here for last session.
I mean, if you think about it, we're also going to be trying to transport 4 people off a planet moving at warp speed on a planet that's also been giving us interference.
Right. We appear to have cleared up the interference.
Yeah, but there will
And
still be
warp
some.
transports, yeah, they're difficult.
Not impossible, but highly difficult.
So
Right.
the question is then that I would have is, did you scan the planet as you came into range?
That is negatory. I believe. I do not fully know.
Because that
We
would
have
be
not
the
correctly
answer.
scanned it.
Right, because so that would be the answer to your question.
Right.
So we need to scan the planet.
Lieutenant Commander, scan the planet.
Right. Reason and
So it'd be reason,
Science?
science, difficulty 2, assisted by the ship.
okay.
Okay.
We'll do one.
What's the ship going to assist with?
The sensors.
So does the difficulty go down?
Sure does. Yeah,
Woohoo,
so
we'll do
so
one.
like when I write the missions, I just write it generically, and you guys can fill in the all the rest of
Specifics.
all the specifics of your ship. Because if I happen to, let's say, run this mission with a ship that doesn't have advanced sensors, this is the baseline difficulty I would use.
So it was difficulty 1.
So
Mhm.
it's a difficulty 2 task, but because of your sensors, and you guys bank, I believe, 3 momentum from.
Ah, so good.
We have an overflow momentum now.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Scans show the away team located 1 kilometer underground near a large clearing.
Possibility of transport?
All right, that will be one of your free questions.
That's fine.
Due to the energy being exerted in the moving planet, interference that prevented transport seems to have cleared up. However, you can't get a lock on any of the away team. They're too deep underground.
All
And
right.
proximity wouldn't change that. Like if do we have any shuttlecraft that have teleporters or
Yeah, everything should have a basic transporter pad. We wouldn't be able to transport multiple people. You'd only be transporting 2 at a time.
And there's 4 of them down there.
Right.
But I guess the primary question I'm asking is if we got a shuttlecraft or even the ship close enough, would that help at all?
Not if the problem is too much ground, like crystal.
I wouldn't say.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay. I
problem-
thought it was the energy that was.
No, they're
Creating
too far
problems.
underground.
Yeah, they're too far underground.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Okay, so we've got one more free question.
Yep.
If we were able to get some pattern enhancers down there, do you think you could clear up the signal?
Sorry, could you run that question by me again?
If we were able to get some pattern enhancers down to the surface, do you think we'd be able to transport through that amount of crystal?
It depends, but it depends on how far down that they reach.
I mean,
I sent you a message.
would it be possible to use a
okay.
shuttle as a pattern enhancer?
I noticed it. I think that will do the trick. The enhancers, whatever you just. I'm sorry, my mind's a little wobbly right now. The pattern enhancers. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pattern enhancers. I think that will do the trick.
Pen, the issue isn't necessarily proximity. We could get the Kismet as close as we wanted to. This ship can land on a planet.
Can it?
Yeah, it can. I looked it up.
Yes.
Is the GM okay with that?
Who do you think I'm getting the messages from?
I mean, I don't care if you want to attempt to land planet, but I mean,
if it's highly militaristic and highly hostile, I don't think it'd be the most.
I don't think
That's-
sending out a shuttle is a good idea. Put it that way.
Well, the way that I was thinking about it, if we put multiple pattern enhancers on the shuttle and I go close enough to the surface, would that possibly help with transport?
No, because that's not quite how pattern enhancers work. Pattern enhancers have to be at the site that something is being beamed from.
yeah, and it only enhances what's inside the pattern enhancers.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a thing of 3 poles, and you set them up in a triangle.
So we'd have to go to the planet.
Right. So this would be we send in a rescue team, we set up pattern enhancers, and then we're able to transport back out. Not
Well, that-
we can send down a ship and just beam them out with a special configuration of that thing. So
Well, that seems to be the best option. Commander, from available data, that seems to be the most idyllic solution.
we have one free question remaining, right?
So that I
Oh, no,
believe that
we used 2.
and you got 1 bonus momentum.
Right, we got 1 bonus momentum that we spent. Let's see.
Maybe create an advantage.
I'm trying to think of what would be an applicable advantage, though. You know,
I've got it. Well, no. To this role.
Is there a way down to their
But
location?
remember that like we're still on this test, so as soon as you try to create advantage, you lose the extra momentum.
Or
Well, no, because you can. That's one of the things I think you can use your bonus momentum to do.
Right, but it would have to be related to this thing.
Yes. Would it be possible to find out? You did say they were they were underground. Is there a way to get underground, or is it just they are straight underground?
That is a good question.
Yeah, is there like a pathway to get there? Like, is there an entrance from the surface, or
Is
Yeah.
it just solid crystal all the way down to them?
Because there's no point of sending people down there if they're literally going to be shooting at the ground.
I will accept that question, and the lieutenant commander has the answer.
There seems to be an entrance to the surface.
I typed wrong.
Okay. There seems to be an entrance from the surface. Okay. Is that how you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, there seems to be an entrance from the surface. So there is a way to it.
All right.
So, how close to the chamber does that get us? Or wherever they are?
I think we're out of questions.
We can still.
Well, you could
spend-
you could use as much bonus moment. You could use as much momentum as questions.
Right. I think that might be more of a clarification because we know there's an entrance, and so we know where the people are and we know where the entrance is. So I don't think that should require another momentum to know how far apart those two things are.
Well, because what I'm wondering is like, there's an entrance that goes down there, but does that get us all the way to where they are, or like how close does it get us? That tunnel.
I think it might require a momentum for the fact of we are trying
Yeah,
to
that-
scan a passageway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, we'll spend another to find more information on this passage, essentially.
You are so I'll veto the question. You are having difficulty scanning underneath to find out complete passages.
Okay.
So,
A question: are we picking up the comm badges, their life signs, or both?
You are picking up their life signs.
So
Wouldn't they
we are
also be
not
picking
picking up their
comm
comm badges.
badges? Or
You
were
are
those-
not. You are
Okay.
not picking up their comm badges. You are
Okay.
picking up their actual life signs.
That means that their equipment has probably been destroyed,
Or taken.
and they are most likely prisoners. All right.
So it
I'm
seems
loath to attempt a military solution before any diplomacy has been tried, but I think we need to assemble an away team.
it's more likely we're going to have to fly down there and drop people off.
so
Lieutenant, I'd be very cautious about deploying any additional shuttles. We've already lost one to this planet, and it seems to have the ability to replicate anything we throw at it.
Well, I didn't say land. I can drop them off and take off again. And just keep in orbit.
wait, do we have parachutes?
No, I can land
Is that what you're
temporarily
suggesting?
while people get off. Well, no, I can land under the surface temporarily for people to get out of the shuttle, then take off so I'm not on the surface, and just stay in the area.
All right. So, quick question for clarification: do we aboard the Kismet know whether or not there are beings inside the crystal substance?
We do not. We just know that this
Okay.
planet has been throwing crystal ships at us. And those ships have not responded to hails, and they have been aggressive towards us. They opened fire when we tried to hail them.
I mean, I
When they
wonder
came up
why.
from the surface.
So,
We don't
with
know.
that in mind,
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Lieutenant Evans, you're having a difficult time because you're kind of playing both right now because of the support crew. But yeah, the information you received on the planet and from the ship are separate in terms of
Okay.
your eyes.
yeah, I wasn't sure if any of that had been transmitted or not.
No, because it can't. be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
because both of us are completely isolated.
So,
Mhm.
Commander, if we need to burrow through this crystal first of all, should we? And second of all, do we have anything that can do this?
Our phasers have the ability to drill through most types of planetary materials.
Oh
The
no.
question of whether this crystal is the same is up for debate, as the ships seem to be made of this, and they were incredibly durable. I prefer not to disturb whatever force might be throwing hostiles at us, though. If we can get in under their radar, all the better.
That would be preferable, but if the tunnel we found doesn't get us all the way there, perhaps a last resort would be necessary.
I'll definitely be prepared.
So permission to take down a tactical team.
Granted, Lieutenant.
Probably assuming we're leaving Tachiban on the bridge.
Yeah. I need a tactical officer here.
So I'll just take a couple of red shirts with me.
Sheesh. We don't have enough people right now.
Well, you do have support crew.
Right, we have support characters, but we don't have enough people.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. We
people,
still have
people.
security 1 and 2.
So just so you guys know for the rest of the scene, if you choose to play a support character, that is essentially who you are playing for the duration of. So bear that in mind when you guys pick who you're playing.
So
if for example, Captain Grennan chooses to play as one of the away team going down, he will not be able to play his character later in this scene.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna.
right, and I'm already playing one of the support characters down there. Pend was. That's what I'm saying, is that we don't have enough people.
Well, keep in mind the scene did end, so in order to use them again, you use up support crew because the scene ended from when they were in there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So how much capacity have we used so far?
Well, we've only actually made a few roles with these characters. Like, we've role played them, but we haven't done roles with them. So I don't think
So it's
anyone
only been
aside from
Tachibana, right?
So like the two on the planet, it's more of a role playing thing. But the two that you used on the ship were used, or the one whatever used on the ship were used.
We've used one on the ship.
Yeah, basically it's Cecile is allowed to like be with us, but the moment Cecile makes a roll or does anything that actually has a mechanical value to it, we have to start spending crew support.
Okay,
Right.
so right now capacity isn't the question. It's just who do we want to play as?
Right.
Got it.
If I take over one of these people going down to the surface, does that mean that I can't switch back to Varro if need be? If something happens?
So the scene would have to change. So if there's a situation where Commander Varro and one of the support characters are in the same space together, whoever you choose to play as right now is who you are in that situation.
Like you can't play Cecile and Varro in the same scene together.
Right.
So
'Cause that
let's
would be weird.
so this probably has more to do with the team on the surface than who is on the ship currently.
Got it.
It just in case things happen. So this way you guys kind of have an idea of what's going on.
I mean, Evans could play a member of the away team because
No, because he's down on the surface.
Yeah,
You and
'cause
I
Evans
can
is down
play
there as well.
the team.
Right.
So maybe
And then-
you guys.
So
Oh, yeah, bring down your new guys.
Oh yeah. I don't see the full name here. Tanamaru could play someone else temporarily,
mhm.
And bring
because
down
I assume they're going to be on the ship.
and bring down
Right, I'm trying to keep those
Yarka.
people.
I think Larka's gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
Larker had to jump off for a few minutes. Should be back soon,
Oh,
based on his
okay.
estimate.
yeah, well that's fine. When Yarka comes back, we can just drag him down to the planet, kicking and screaming the whole way.
Yeah. Okay, so The logistics of this are difficult, but I think Pend the character is going down. Me as the player is going down, playing a support character. We're keeping Lieutenant Commander Tana on the bridge, so he can also play a support character. And I think we should send Ensign Lyrica down as himself.
Okay.
Does that sound good, everyone?
Commander Varro, I will give you a point of termination if you lead the away team yourself.
Okay, remember what happened last time we accepted this kind of deal?
Yeah.
Don't
Hey.
give him the satisfaction.
It worked out last time.
It
Barely.
did.
Last time it got your captain captured.
Wait, what?
No, it didn't.
Oh, right, yeah, because that happened too. I was thinking back to the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I was
No.
thinking of.
Oh, I forgot. Grennan accepted the same deal to go down to the planet.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but Grennan
that's
sucks.
why I'm here.
Well, you throwing shade at our captain?
Yeah, he's throwing shade at our captain.
He's
And
trapped.
I'm gonna take a threat though.
Ah, sorry. No, I'm not taking it. Varro's duty is on the bridge.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's get the away team then.
Okay, I am back.
Thought
What
you
did
had
I
us.
missed?
Right, so it's me, Liaka, and a couple of red shirts.
Right.
So do you want
Two
me to
security
stay on
officers.
the bridge, or do you want me to go with them? And just
You're
play
playing one of the
NPC?
security officers.
Gotcha.
So which shuttle am I taking?
The Neruda.
Okay.
Oh, are you not beaming down?
Nope.
I think Ed said we couldn't beam down.
I said you could. That's why I had you do that entire thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
then
beam
Penn
down to the
said we couldn't
planets.
beam down.
You can
Then
beam down
never
to the
mind.
planet.
We're definitely not taking a shuttle. We're beaming down.
Yeah, you can't
Jeez.
beam down to where we are, but you can beam down to the planet's surface.
Right.
Am I going down there?
Yes.
Well, at least I know what I'm doing.
Hey, there'll be pretty crystals down there.
I just thought of another theory about that, but I want to examine them a bit closer
All
before.
right, I'm
that.
taking another threat.
Basically, that's hurry the fuck up.
Yep.
Right.
Let's go.
Get down to the transporter room.
I'm
Yes,
sorry
sir.
I gave him that idea.
So it's still Pend, Liaka, and 2 security officers.
Okay.
I hope I don't
so-
regret this.
So the rescue crew is beamed down to the planet, and where you beamed, you are beamed into what looks like an Earth-like town made entirely of crystal, and it seems to be modeled after a small town in Europe. You know, like the style of texture of architecture. However, there is nothing else in the town. And toward the back of the town, in kind of what looks to be a mountain, there is an opening, and a series of passages that lead to the life signs of the missing away team.
Scanners out, let's see what we can find.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Scanner up.
Which science character are we using, by the way? I mean, not science security.
We don't have these ones drafted up yet, so these are new support characters.
Well, you can keep a Touchabon around.
Small note.
One of us
my-
could be that one.
You can keep Touchabon around. You just have to spend another crew support.
Right. Okay, so Tachibon, and I'm playing an unnamed one.
Ensign Expendable.
It's an expendable. So, am I playing Tachibon then, I guess?
Correct. That sheet is right there.
Okay, gotcha. Do they not have any weapons?
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
have
found that a
phasers.
little odd. Does he have a type 1 or a type 2?
I should have a type 2 because he's security.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure if that was because of my rank.
No, that's because of your position.
That just makes more sense.
So it's a case of I'm ordering the away team to scan for life signs or anything they can pick up through the structures.
All you're really picking up are those same energy fluctuations from any scan of the crystal and the life signs of the away team leading into the tunnels.
Can we discern which tunnel?
So far you're in the town and there's
Okay. Okay, let's move up. And as we're moving, I'm going to start. I'm not shouting, but hello? Anyone there?
Hello?
there. Hello there.
your words are met in silence. And as you make your way through the underground passage tunnels, the tunnels seem to be heading almost directly toward the away team, almost in what seems like a straight line.
Okay, everyone keep your eyes open. Let's pick up the pace.
Roger that.
Roger.
Understood.
And after more movement through the tunnels, you reach a dead end. And the away team's life signs seem to be just on the other side of the wall.
There's something about this wall that we could try to, maybe a secret switch or a pressure plate or something.
Start feeling around.
Can we tell how thick the wall is?
It only seems to be a couple of centimeters.
Knock on the surface.
Knock on the surface. Okay, I knock.
And so we'll head to the other away team. You guys can.
Captain, can you hear us?
Well, the captain said he'd be right back, but he can hear you.
Oh.
Hello there.
He's being very quiet. He's just like nodding.
That's not been very helpful.
So I just kind of like walk over to the wall. We can hear you.
Okay, we've beamed down, and it seems to be a few centimeters between us. Do you know anything that could help us?
Yes, for the love of all that is good, do not break the wall. We don't want to kill anything else.
What could you explain, please?
Yeah, run the by us again.
There are life forms that live in the crystal, so do not break the crystal.
Oh.
Don't scan it either.
Unfortunately, we've been destroying Crystal's
Wait,
ships.
What happened?
We just reached down through the tunnels, and you guys are right across a couple centimeter thick wall from the away team that got sent down.
Great.
Yeah, and I've just told Pend not to break the crystal or scan it, but apparently they've already scanned.
He said that we've been destroying crystalline ships.
Oh, the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, there were ships?
Yeah, we've been constantly attacked by crystalline ships.
How many and how big?
Cruiser and 2 fighters.
And previously a couple
And a lot before then.
Yeah, quite a few.
I look at Evans and I just go, oh no.
And you've only just
retaliation.
This just got a whole lot more sticky.
What do you say, Evans?
I forget what to say. Oh, do you think that was retaliation? I guess that's a stupid question, isn't it?
Can I hit my combat commander?
Can I read them?
The communications do go through.
Commander,
Yes, Lieutenant.
it seems like this crystalline planet and the structures are sentient. So
Well, we'd figured out there was some intelligence behind it. The only problem is it's hostile and won't communicate.
it seems like our scans and anything we touch seems to kill them. So it might explain why the ships have been hounding us, because the away team accidentally killed some of them.
I have a question.
Lieutenant, do you have status on the away team?
They're a few centimeters away behind a wall, but I've been ordered not to scan or go through the wall.
I have a question as my character. Well, not actually. Well, yeah, like my character on the ship. Did they? Okay, my character's gonna ask a question to like the people down there. Like, would they be able to hear it, or would I say it to somebody that's down there and they would relay it through?
You're on the bridge, so this communication is open to you as well.
Okay, so I say, did they say anything about this planet being of some importance to them, or anything like that that they may have been really pissed off about? Like, did we piss them off really bad doing something?
I shall ask now, because you haven't got your communications.
Oh, that's right.
Captain, did the Crystal Planet say anything about being important here? Any reason why they're extremely annoyed at us?
Yeah. You see, it would appear that this species exists in a form of energy, and they use the crystals of this planet as a medium. The crystals of this planet are really the only way they can exist. We accidentally discharged a couple of these energy patterns, essentially dispersing the individual.
So we're causing genocide essentially.
Murder, more like, but yes.
Well, I think it's more like manslaughter, really. I mean,
Didn't
Right.
they mention
Slaughter?
something about being a
Is
breeding
it-
ground?
Crystal slaughter? Babality? I'm sorry.
The the exact ethics of it are muddy, to say the least.
So from what you gather, we're on their sacred ground.
We're on their home. We're invaders.
and we may have disturbed a hatchery. Okay, we definitely did.
No, we definitely did.
Yeah, it was we. Yeah,
Commander, it
But-
seems the away team made a huge error.
But there is, I want to say, some good news. It would appear that this species doesn't speak with a unified voice.
So no hive mind.
No hive mind.
Well, that's good, considering they haven't used any voice with us.
wait, you've never heard them before? They never spoke on your way down here?
Nope.
Oh, wait, quick question to Ed. What did they sound like?
So the one that talked, it was a loud booming voice because of the cavern, and the other one you talked to was basically the voice of a child, like young, innocent,
Right.
soft, quiet.
Fortunately, they sound enough like us.
Maybe they mimic sounds they've heard.
No, it's a little bit more complex than that. They're able to understand our language and communicate with us, even without the universal translator.
See, we didn't have this information because every time we tried to hail each of the ships, they just fired upon us.
Well, it's possible they don't have communications technology, or at least nothing that we could work with.
All right, well, this little exchange of information has been all well and good, but the question now is, what do we do?
We could try
We're
and
stuck-
drill you out.
No. that
No,
is
no,
out of the
no,
que-
no, no drills.
That is out of the question.
Would you like me to go back into the city, the Crystal City, and see if I can find someone?
Wait, what?
Yeah, we've been down into a Crystal City, but no one responded.
I see.
I didn't know there was a city.
What were you guys doing down here?
We
We
saw
were-
canyons and
we were-
valleys.
Captured
And that.
and brought before what I could only assume is a de facto leader of some kind.
Okay, if you want, Captain, I'll go back into the main city. I'll leave 2 security officers here and take 1 with me.
Wait, Panda, before you leave,
Yes.
were you allowed down here or did you dig?
No, I just teleported. Or transported.
You transported
was a
directly to
tunnel.
the other side of this wall?
No,
There was a tunnel leading down here, Lieutenant.
Oh, yes.
So you
Okay.
came from the surface.
Yeah, we just came down
Okay,
the tunnel.
so they let you come and speak with us.
It appears so.
Wait, are they necessarily aware of your presence?
No idea.
Well, I don't think they would accidentally make a tunnel coming directly to us that leads to the surface, especially if they don't need them to move.
I sort of just look around at the I just sort of look around at the walls and I say, is someone listening in on this right now?
And as soon as you say that, the wall between you lowers, and that small childlike voice says, "Run."
Run? Okay.
Let's go.
And just as you guys exit, 4 of the crystal beings emerge from the walls of the cell and start to chase you.
Everybody, assholes and elbows.
Everyone run.
Move.
So is this going to be,
Rule of
are we going to be doing like an
Acquisition
approach?
98. If you can't take it with you, don't go. I'm going. Bye.
Hey, bye. It's like we need to set down the fangs.
Right, we're running.
Yeah, I'm
Just to be clear.
hollowing.
Ed.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the ship really quick. So you guys start booking it down the hallway with the ship really quick. So on the ship, whoever's on the ship,
I'm on the ship.
the planet stops moving. Abruptly stops.
Colin, take us out of warp.
Yes, sir.
Wait, isn't Pandon World?
It would
Depends on
be
world.
it would be con officer number 4, I think, at this point,
I think it would
Right.
or
be.
maybe or number 3.
Yeah, it's Newland Vox.
Yeah, it'll be number 3. Newland Vox.
Somebody just take us out of warp, please.
I certainly still can't do it.
Any attempt to lock onto the planet for transport.
You are probably definitely going to have to translate that into words.
What?
You did a great job typing that.
Oh yeah.
Any attempt to lock onto the planet for transport is actively being blocked.
All right.
And we'll go back to the ground.
Fuck.
So as you guys are running toward the exit, groups of more of the crystal entities are just coming out of the walls as you guys are running toward the opening. And as soon as you guys get out of the opening, you are surrounded by multiple of these crystal beings.
Shit.
And they surround you in all directions.
Harmon steps forward. We meant you no harm. We were curious. We didn't know that touching the crystals would accidentally kill you.
And as you say that, they all start to hold up like crystal phasers in their arms. And just as it looks like they're about to shoot, in a loud voice, probably a little bit more of a mature voice, you just hear, "Stop." And hold on 1 second. Let's see if we could do this right.
Oh,
So the ground crew seat is on pause.
What?
Commander on board the ship, I have transporter lock on the entire crew.
Beam them out of there.
Beaming ahead.
And the away team is now on board Met's transporter room, the entire group.
I run up to the bridge.
Harmon immediately books it for the bridge.
To the bridge.
Navarro to away team. Is everyone all right down there?
Shaken, but not stirred, Commander.
Fox, get
Do
out
we
the
need to
seat.
get out of here?
I'm immediately coming up to the bridge.
All right.
I'm just following the captain. I assume you want me.
And you guys get to the bridge.
Captain on the bridge. I stand up from the center chair and stand off to the side a little bit.
I don't even take the center chair. I step in front of it and I say, "Try hailing the planet.
Captain,
Right.
we've tried hailing the planet repeatedly. There's been no response.
Try it again."
Yes, sir. I try to hail the planet again.
Lieutenant Evans, you're back to tactical.
Yes, assuming the captain didn't tell me not to be.
It's your station. Take it.
Well, I took your lack of an answer as a yes.
Yes. So, any answer to the hail?
We're getting two cruisers coming up from the surface, Captain.
Any response to the hail?
I think that might be our response to the hail, Captain.
I would suggest leaving, but that's just my idea.
Captain, we've been repeatedly engaged by these forces. They don't respond to communications, and they open fire as soon as they're in range.
Harmon just sits back in the chair, and you see this pained look on his face.
Evasive
just-
maneuvers.
And he just slams his hand down on the chair. And the commander, at least, he's seen this look on Harmon's face once before,
Right.
and that was when the crew member died. And he has the same pained look on his face. He just slams his hand down on the armrest next to him. He said, "Warp us out of here."
Okay.
And if Pendant engages warp, you guys warp out of the, I guess it would be called the Rogue Planet system.
Put a message through to Starfleet. No vessels are to visit this rogue planet again.
Right away, Captain.
It looks like
And you receive a return hail from the Admiral. Captain, I see you're back on the Kismet. Report.
we ran into life, but not life as we know it. It was life that we didn't understand, and sometimes when you find life you don't understand and you try to make first contact, you cause irreparable damage.
Sorry to hear that, Captain, but we've got a more. I am back to the Renda station. I will inform you
cut
when
out
you
again.
get here.
Shut
I cut
up.
out.
I didn't
Sorry.
hear half of what you just said.
Okay, sorry. Let's see.
I said you go to the something station.
Yeah. Captain, that's all fine and good, Captain, but I got a situation brewing. I'm recalling all vessels back to Torrenda Station. I will fill you in when you get here. Admiral Heppard out.
Captain, before we get too far, should we inform the Klingons of what we learned?
Agreed.
I send a hail out to the Klingon. Or coded message. I don't
Are the
know.
Klingons still engaged?
And as you guys send the message out, Captain Nicole's on the screen. Captain Grennan, I see the mission was a success.
If you could call it that.
Captain, we killed many of the enemy, and you come out of live. I would.
But all could have been avoided. Forgive me, Captain. I'm thinking out loud.
Well, come, Captain. There's a situation on Narenda. I will meet you there. I have some more blood wine for you. And he cuts out the transmission.
And I just kind of look over to the captain and say, "Great, more blood wine."
Harmon doesn't respond.
Permission to go maximum what?
Mission granted.
And with that, we come to the end.
What?
What?
With that, we
to the
come to
end.
the drop call.
That's an abrupt end.
Oh, wow.
And death.
I'm wondering if like he closed Discord again.
Yes, he did.
What the absolute just happened?
Welcome to the Kismet.
And that
I was
is
about
the end.
to say, what happened?
Did I do it again? So yeah, that is
Yeah.
the end of Emancipation. I'm sitting there trying to close out like screens